Welcome, everyone. It is another motherfucking Thursday, so that can only mean one motherfucking thing. It is a brand new episode of A Worthy Addiction.
Yeah.
And let me not waste any time. Let me introduce to you guys my rowdy brother, my co-host, superstar, because he's a superstar. Let me introduce to you guys my host. He is a man known to stuff some horse meat in some pink taco. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, Unworthy Collector. What's going on, dude?
Thank you. Pleasure to be here as always on another beautiful Thursday. And introducing the co-host of the show. He is the man who's got more meats than Arby's. It's none other than Toy Addict 17.
And that is a fact. I have a lot of meat.
You got the meat. You gave them the idea for that slogan.
I did. And didn't ask for anything in return, by the way.
No.
Didn't ask for anything.
Sandwiches every now and then.
Right? That goes a long way too. So, buddy, how are you doing? It's Thursday. I'm excited to be here. I'm
doing good, man. I just had a big fish dinner.
Oh, okay.
Having a nice Miller Lite beverage to wash it down with. A little catfish fry. Yeah.
Well, dude, let me tell you, I was planning on like ordering pizza, and I was like, or not just pizza. I was just planning on ordering something, and I couldn't decide on what I wanted. So then I forgot that I had some corn tortillas to make because I'd made some quesadillas the last time. So I was like,
I love a good quesadilla.
Yeah, a quesadilla, like Napoleon Dynamite. Won't you just go ahead and make yourself some daggone quesadillas?
Some dang quesadilla.
So I took the tortilla. I spread some butter because I usually put it down and let one side cook.
Yeah, you gotta get crispy.
Yeah, you gotta do. It's gotta get crispy. So then I took some ground, not ground beef, but like some beef strips. And I cooked them up. I seasoned them. I cooked them up. Put them on top. Put some shredded sharp cheddar cheese on it. Threw a little bit of parsley on it.
Fucking Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, seriously. And then I threw some sour cream and then some salsa sauce that I had from some chips that I had. And then I was trying to wrap it, and after 15 times that I burnt my fucking hands. Because I was trying using the spatula, but the thing wouldn't because it was already crispy. So but it came out great. I took some the Tabasco sauce that I had. I threw that some bitch on it.
Oh, you gotta
cut it up.
You gotta have a little heat.
It was the best, man. It was the best. Then I had a Diet Coke after, and I can't complain. And look at that, I saved some money. I didn't have to spend anything.
And you didn't have to put pants on to answer the door for delivery.
Yep, exactly. So I'm very proud of that, and I'm happy that you had a fish dinner. How was what kind of fish?
Catfish, fried catfish.
Catfish, okay.
Some red beans and rice.
So no.
I load it right up there with the ranch and blue cheese and Tabasco sauce as well. Mix it up a little bit. Get my fish right in.
Not bad. Shit, that's
no Venice.
No Venice.
That's
no
Venice. A Friday night gig.
Oh, okay, so you guys eat Venice on a Friday night. That's your thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we eat it multiple nights a week, but usually Friday.
See, during the week, I'm it's always rice and beans. I can't have anything in this house. It's blasphemy if you don't cook rice and beans for me. I think that's a sign of disrespect. You could call me a bitch, a punk ass bitch. You could say that I'm a bunch of stuff, but then I won't take it to offense. But I will be seriously offended if you don't cook rice for me. I would be seriously offended. I don't know how
it's have you seen what is it called there? Fucking basketball game, Jackie Moon. The Will Ferrell when he calls the dude a jive turkey, and he's like, "What did you just call me?" And he pulls a gun out on him. "Did you just call me a jive turkey?" And he's like, No, I called you a cocksucker. Yeah, that's what it's like with you if you come over to somebody's house. It's like, did you not make me beans and rice?
No, seriously.
No, I'm making them right now.
Seriously, I'm big. I've always been big on eating rice and beans. Even if we order let's say we go to KFC and we just buy the with us, we're a big family, so we always did the 12-piece wings. So anytime we had like 12 piece, I was like, yeah, let's make some rice and beans with it. Or
you gotta have.
You have to. You know, so yeah, so that, and then that's pretty much it. So
it sounds like an eventful Thursday night.
It's an event. I had a really good day at work, and I came home, took a shower, I relaxed a little bit, and like I said, I was thinking about things to eat, and then I'm happy that I didn't get to spend any money, that I still have some money, that I was able to make something on my own, and it came out amazing. Well, at least I think it was messy as shit.
You're like modern day independent woman. Like Beyonce ain't got nothing.
Shit, I'm the queen.
You don't need no man taking care of you.
No, I take care of myself.
That's right.
Well, for everyone watching, first off, thank you for tuning in. You could have been anywhere on social media. You could have been watching anything. You could have been watching your favorite sitcom, your favorite playing a video game. You could have been doing anything, but you chose to be with us tonight, and we're very grateful and very thankful that you're on with us. So with that being said, if you haven't hit the like or subscribe, please do so right now, or
don't. We're just going to keep doing this show every week. Whether you guys watch it, whether you like it, whether you subscribe, don't fuck it. We're going to be here anyway.
This is basically like our safe haven and our like escape. So this is not only the show is for you guys, but it's also for us, because sometimes
it's mostly for us.
It's mostly for us.
It's a bit for you guys. We like you guys as well, but it's mostly for us.
Yeah. So we like to escape and have conversations. We had a phenomenal episode last night, by the way, on the Pick Bar. It was the Rowdy Boyz takeover episode. We were asked to come back, and then we featured some amazing toy photographers. But also, we made a lot of inappropriate jokes like we normally do. But again, it was such an awesome show, and I got a lot of a couple of the people that were featured reach out to me and say, hey, listen, thank you so much for just showing me love. I thank you, and even explaining some of the things I did on your photos. Hey, listen, shout outs to them because they all did a phenomenal job, and shout out to the Pick Bar guys for allowing us to come on and do another show.
It's like what I said last night to them. I was like, it's always very nice to be able to come back on the Pick Bar. Very well, always appreciate being welcome back, but also very surprised when we get welcome back, because sometimes we go on and on and on for hours and make a lot of jokes.
I agree, and you know what? We're grateful. So we're grateful, definitely grateful. So the chat's bumping. So I want to say hi to everyone that's on the chat right now. So starting off with our homie, the real one, the real Bill himself, in the house. Let the apologies commence. Bill, I'm gonna tell you, we're not apologizing anymore. We stopped that. No more formal apologies. We're just gonna go with it, and whatever happens.
And to speak on that before we continue saying hello to the chat, speak on how we're not apologizing anymore.
Yeah.
If we say something that offends you, you probably ought to just deal with it, because if you start bringing it up and bitching at us, we're going to start saying names on the show. We'll start reading the sad comments that you people leave for us to be offended. We'll be showing it off. So if it bothers you, you're probably better off just shutting your damn mouth.
Or we'll invite you on and just let you vent. And we'll try to understand you. But thank goodness that we have a great audience and great people that come on, and they have a great funny bowl. So everybody that's watching, much love to you guys. You guys are all awesome. I know you guys are. As a matter of fact, you guys like the bullshit. You guys like the bullshit that we do, which is awesome. We got our boy Raven's Eye Studio in the house. Dude. What's up, dude? Raven in the house. We got our boy Jedi Jax. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yes. Maybe more this guy right here than me, because he's this fucking superstar here.
Yeah, I'm pretty famous.
Me cheat my cheat, but yeah, right. We got Matt Collectibles Fun. What's up, dude? Welcome. We got Mr. Steal Your Girl. Let me tell you, who is super happy because he just got his Mesco Green Ranger today, and he took a phenomenal photo of it. So I know he's excited. Very, very excited. We're excited for you, buddy. I know that's your thing, so I'm happy that you have it. I can't wait to see the photos that you take with it. And yeah, so thank you for everybody that's tuning in. And again, if you have not hit the like or subscribe, and you know, do so right now, hit the notification if you want to. And if you, no big deal. And if you want to hit that notification bell, no big deal, no rush, no pressure, just to be informed of where we're on. More than welcome to do that. And yeah, we appreciate you guys. So other than that, so here's my topic conversation, right?
All right.
And it's movies. It's movie. It's gonna be a movie thing, right? Because I watched mainly documentary. So I just recently watched a documentary of your favorite wrestler on Worthy, Cody Rhodes. And so yeah, that's that. But anybody doesn't know that's a joke. He doesn't like Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
So I just recently Peacock is streaming his documentary, and I was watching Redfield, which by the way I enjoyed Redfield. It was really fun. But then I started watching the Cody Rhodes documentary, and just a couple of things that I took from that documentary that I really liked. First of all, I gained a bigger respect for Cody Rhodes. Like I knew he was entertaining, and I know Unworthy. I know you don't fucking like him, but hear me out. Hear me out. Okay, I'm gonna try to sell. I think by the end of this night, you're gonna be a Cody Rhodes fan too. After this. Okay. I'm hoping. I'm praying.
I'm hoping.
So, 3 things that kind of I took from that documentary. One, his dedication to wrestling, right? And just betting on, like he used that term a lot, betting on himself. He betted on himself when he started off. He wanted to become a wrestler. He told his dad he knew that he had to kind of like prove to everybody and become his own man because he was living under his dad's shadow because he was known as Dusty's kid. You know what I'm saying? So he was trying to get away from that. And like I said, one of the things that I loved about him and that I gained so much respect, how he took a chance and walked away from all the money that he was making and started going to all these independent shows and becoming a star, probably even bigger star in all these independent shows. He's the one that kind of like broke the whole forbidden door thing where he's like, he's not with anybody. He's just anywhere because that's how popular he was. He became so popular where he was a star anywhere he went. So, and then to move on and become, running his own promotion, like his own thing with all independent, like every type of wrestler. Like it's like a big independent show, which is now AEW, and they're doing big things now. But like, and then to just come back, like to come back and wanting, because one of his main goals in that documentary that he said was that his dream was to always win the WWE title because that was the title that eluded his family because his dad, quote unquote, he had a photo of his dad holding the title, but it was his dad really never won the title because the other person was counted out. So he won the match, but he didn't win the title. So it's just basically his journey into like wanting to win. And it also showed that fucking fight with Roman at WrestleMania, which by the way, I was fucking devastated. I know you had a fucking blast because we were talking you the whole time on the chat about it.
Yep, you sure were.
Like,
yes, fucking karma.
Yeah, right. I was so pissed off because like I had all these jokes ready for you.
You and Blitz, you're just running your mouths in the chat, right? Chirp. Cody Rhodes gets pinned, and I'm like, hey, where everybody at though? Where'd everybody go? Nobody wants to talk no more.
Right. So yeah, that really shocked the shit out of me because I really thought he was gonna win. But but now that I think about it, I'm really happy that he did it because it kind of gives the meaning of him winning more of a it gives it more of a meaning, right? For him to like think he's gonna win it on the biggest stage and the main event, he doesn't win it. He has to go through all these other obstacles. It's like, I love that because sometimes wrestling, they'll do that. They'll bring somebody back and then they'll give them the title. Like Ronda Rousey first came, she won the title like within a couple of months. She was already women's champion. Like, and that's one thing I don't like. And I'm glad that they haven't done that with Logan Paul neither. Thank God. I'm glad they're like kind of like.
Yeah, I hope they don't put a title in.
Yeah. Like let them.
He's a hell of a wrestler. I give him a lot of credit.
He's a hell of an athlete. But that's one of the things. The second thing that I got from that documentary was how he I didn't know how he played, just the fact that he played Stardust, right? And he played the hell out of that character. Like, he really put his all into it, and just to know how much he hated playing that character, like, he hated it so much because he wanted to be the dashing Cody Rhodes. He wanted to be the Cody Rhodes from Legacy. He wanted to be that Cody Rhodes, right? And especially when his dad died, like, he had mentioned in the documentary how he kind of accepted the role as Stardust because to him it was a mask to kind of like, it was a mask for him to kind of like mourn his dad, right? But he was ready to kind of reinvent himself and come back as Cody Rhodes. He wanted to be Cody Rhodes, and then it was kind of like WWE wasn't like having it. Like, there was even a part where he was like, he went up to one of like the writers and he was like trying to get their attention, and they were like giving him the hand and shit, like back up, bitch. type thing. And then like he looked and he saw that the computer wasn't even plugged in. He wasn't even fucking typing. So that's what I'm saying. Like, how he,
that's cold. That's a dismissal.
That's a fucking dismiss, big time. But like the fact that he was still able to like take a character that he hated so much being, because he wanted to be Cody Rhodes, he didn't want to be Stardust, but like commit to it to the point where you love. Like, he played the hell out of it. Even if you didn't like it, he enjoyed it. But he didn't want to be like, that character was like so funny to the point where like it wasn't like it was like a B-list type, like it's a fun segment type character. It wasn't gonna be, Stardust wasn't gonna be the WWE.
He was never gonna be a champion.
No, hell no. It was never gonna be a champion. He was gonna
champion with his brother,
or 24/7 champion. That's what he was gonna be.
He'd be running around with R-Truth and Akira Tozawa in the back.
Right? That's so shitty, right? They create a fucking title to just be like, hey, by the way, you're a C-list wrestler. We're gonna just give you this title and it can change.
We're paying you. You might as well do something.
Well, shit, you know what? As much as they pay these motherfuckers, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind being the women's champion. Like, I don't give a fuck. I would be the 24/7, make up a title. I don't give a shit. But and the last thing that really stood out to me was how Dustin Rhodes, Goldust, wasn't really like, I mean, it was Cody Rhodes' thing, but like in the movie, it was like, yeah, this is my boy. This is Dusty's kid. Fuck this guy. In a way, it kind of was like, they kind of, I don't know if they like, I don't think they threw shade on Dustin Rhodes, Goldust, right? I don't think they threw shade.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I mean, they probably wouldn't have Cody doing it directly. Like, he wouldn't agree to that. But I wouldn't be surprised if, they were intentionally throwing shade at Goldust. I mean, he left WWE, which is fine, leave. But then he did a whole bunch of podcasts and was like trashing.
No, and I from what I remember too, like, didn't he have like a drug problem or something like that? Like, he was like doing drugs or something like that at some point.
I don't think, probably. I mean, look at the way he dressed, all that fucking.
but you know what though? But you know what? But that character was so fucking iconic back in the day, though.
Yeah,
Goldust was like, and especially with that match.
Another one that was never going to be a big champion.
I mean, he was Intercontinental champion, right? He was the IC champion. Yeah,
mid-card champion, never going to be a main event.
But he was But my thing is like the IC, the Intercontinental title is the second biggest title other than the WWE title. He was the IC champ at one point,
for a while,
right?
Like, it used to be real big, and then after a while, I don't know, it was changing hands every other week. Like, they had no prestige or anything anymore.
Yeah, because now they have like 5 fucking titles, like 5 worlds. They have like 5 world titles.
I mean, think about it. Back then they did too. Like, when Goldust was IC champ, like, they had the European Championship, the Lightweight Championship, the Hardcore Championship, the $1 Million title. They had the WWE title, tag team titles, and then they brought WCW into the mix. So then you added a United States title, a cruiserweight title, fucking more tag team titles, cruiserweight tag team titles.
Every title.
And then they threw ECW in the mix, and the whole fucking thing was wow.
All those titles came. Then it's everything. Wild Women of Wrestling titles. Next, sooner or later, is gonna be AEW titles. But that's like the third thing that really stood out to me. Like it was, and again, to be fair, it was a Cody Rhodes documentary. Well, by the way, I recommend everybody that's on the chat right now to check it out, because it's a great. If you're into wrestling and you like Cody Rhodes, go check it out. And if you don't like Cody Rhodes, check it out anyways, because I'm telling you,
good.
I gained. Listen, I'm gonna make you a believer before the night's over. You're gonna be a believer. Check it out. Hey, matter of fact, watch the documentary, and we'll follow up on this conversation in the next episode. We'll do it briefly.
I'm a busy guy. I don't really have time to watch Cody Rhodes documentary.
But those were the three main things that really stood out to me. The fact that how he bet on himself and still became successful and still became this mega star that he actually wanted. How he played a character who he hated, but he did it. He still did it. He didn't like try to sabotage the character. He didn't like not show up at shows. Like he still played that character. But then also too how like Goldust, like Dustin Rhodes, wasn't like. It's like I don't know. It's like the wrong kid died, type shit. So it was like one of those things. But again, I love the documentary. There were some points in the documentary where he got really emotional. Even myself, like I kind of felt for him because he had such a great relationship with his dad, and like there were points in that thing where you kind of really felt the love that he had for his dad, but he also wanted to get away. He wanted to become his own person. He wanted to become. So I believe when he went to New Japan, that's when he took the identity of the Nightmare. The American Nightmare. He took that identity.
Kind of went. Yeah, he went and did a bunch of indies like MLW and did Ring of Honor. Mm-hmm. I can't think of where. I think it was Ring of Honor or NWA. He won the NWA World Title. What annoys me about that guy is he's. I won't take nothing away from him. He's tough. Like he had that fucking whole titty and like big bruise on his titty, and he still did that whole Hell in a Cell match. That was pretty impressive. But
it was
as
match
far
of the
as
year that year.
Wrestling abilities, I think he's very overrated. He's not bad. He's not a bad wrestler, but like he's also like I don't know. He's not a one-trick pony, but he's like only like a five.
Well, that's another thing too. Like
Cody Cutter.
But he came.
Like, okay,
well, I mean, come on. I mean,
you love Randy Orton. We get it.
What does Roman do? Roman can't wrestle.
Roman don't need to. He drive-by drop kick on the apron, spear, cock the fist, punch him in the nose.
Wrestling has turned into the new age of rap, right? You don't have to make sense. You just have to say it, but you just got to have a great beat. So that's Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is the new rap of today, where you have a great beat and you don't have to make sense.
Just make a bunch of chicken noises.
Just a bunch of gibberish. Sound like the fucking Sims or sound like the parents in the Peanuts show. But yeah, dude. Like I watched the documentary and it was great. Are there any documentaries that you ever watched? Are you into documentaries?
Oh, I watch documentaries all the time. I mostly watch documentaries, like the serial documentary shows, like series. And
okay.
I watch a lot of documentary movies. I actually just watched one this weekend. It was 511: The Lost. It was about the hunters that had gone out and got lost and never found. Okay. And it was like suspicious. And, like they sprinkle a little conspiracy theory shit in there, like it could be aliens. There was also other things going on. It's a pretty good show.
Okay, I gotta check that one out. I've seen a couple of them. I love the Aaron Hernandez one. Was really good. That one was fucking bizarre. Like I like a lot of the crime ones, like about like
we watched a lot of those. We just watched one recently too about the dad that he like called and reported his wife and kids missing. I think it was like American. I think I want to call it American Nightmare now, but that's not what it was. Like American, or maybe that's what it was. Like American or Nightmare in America or some shit like that. About this dad, he called in his wife and kids missing, and they like brought the police and was like seeming like he was all really really helpful, trying to help them, and like there was no sign, and then finally they got the fucking phone records and seen they
Okay.
was having an affair, and then they finally brought him in, and they were like, "So where are the kids?" And he's like, "Or the one, your wife and kids." And he's like, "All right, I'll take you to them." He takes them all the way out into the middle of nowhere. There's this fucking abandoned construction site. They got this big.
I think I saw that one. Oh shit! I think I do remember that one.
He had to use like a crow or a big pry bar, steel bar to wind the top off. It's like a 30-foot drop down inside, and he just thrown them in there. And they're like, "Oh, so you killed them and threw them in there?" He goes, "No, they were alive when I threw them in."
Motherfucker.
30 feet drop into a steel like canister, essentially.
Let me tell you something. Anyone who injures a child or injures an animal will never have mercy from me ever. You will not have no mercy. I don't care what religion, anything. You will never have any mercy. I hate videos. As a matter of fact, that's why I hate TikTok sometimes. Sometimes I'm scrolling through TikTok, and sometimes I catch funny videos or funny little dances and shit like that. But sometimes they'll and that's with any social media, right? Like sometimes people will drop a video of something like disturbing, like a child getting hurt or an animal getting hurt, or even just sometimes I get disturbed with animals hurting other animals, like the dog videos with dogs attacking little dogs or coyotes attacking dogs and shit like that. Really makes me very sad, but it also makes me very angry. Like there was this one video I watched one time where it really pissed me off. It was this little girl, and it's the parents, they're coming out the car, the dad's coming out there, and so the little girl's walking, and this fucking coyote comes out of nowhere and fucking attacks her. He bites her and drops her on the floor. She's crying, but then he starts dragging her, and then thank God the dad came really quick and scared the coyote away, and and the daughter was fine. She probably had a couple of nits, nothing crazy. But then in that moment, I'm thinking I'm trying to put myself into that. I turned into Joe Rogan. You ever watch that thing with Joe Rogan where he talks about they showed a video with the little girl and the guy pulling the papers on her hand, and he's like, I will go to a dark place. That the guy he was interviewing, the guy was like, "Yo, dude, calm down. That wasn't you." He went into a dark place. Anytime I see videos like that, I go into this dark, and in my mind, I'm like, man, if that was my little 3-year-old, and I would chase that coyote, and I would do everything in my power to get that fucking coyote. The fact that you made my baby cry,
you don't really have coyotes out. You're next to the woods,
no. The scariest thing we got are roaches out here.
I got coyotes. We have coyotes up the hill. They come down the hill all the time. Last year I was cooking. I was outside. I was cooking on the grill, and my oldest boy was outside with me. And it started getting dark because I couldn't get the charcoal to keep going. And the fucking coyotes come running down we heard them howling up the hill.
Yeah.
And my son's like, "Dad, are those werewolves?" And I was like, "No, it's not werewolves. It's coyotes. Don't worry, they're way up the hill." Well, then it's a few minutes pass, and they're getting louder and louder, and then you can hear them running downhill. It's overgrown, it's not trees, but it's high grass on the power lines and shit. And you can hear them crashing through the grass and through the brush. And I just instinctively picked my son up, threw him in the house, and I always keep that thing on. I'm always ready for it.
Well, wait, you keep that. Wait. All right, go ahead, finish, because I want to hear what that thing on.
Keep that thing on. So I went out, and they just as they came through the clearing into my backyard is when I came back out with the gun, and they were chasing a raccoon, and the raccoon was running around my kid's playset, and then ran up the slide of the playset. But then there was 3 coyotes nipping at it, trying to go up the playset as well. Yeah. But then they smell the grill. They stop and they're sniffing the air, and they turn. And I mean, they're probably only 40 yards from my house at this point. And I leveled up. I took one shot. 2 of them took off running. The third turned, stopped, and looked at me, and I let another shot go, and then it took off. And I got my food off of the grill as fast as I can. And,
now,
and then I went back outside 20 minutes later, because adrenaline dump now. I was having a heart attack after the whole thing. So I finally went outside. I'm like, man, I smell gas. Why do I smell gas? Gasoline. And I'm like, oh my! And then it dawns on me, like where the coyotes were running around, my tractor was parked up there, and I literally had fucking just one of the rounds fucking went straight through my tire, the fender, and the fucking gas tank, and all of my gas dumped out of my tractor.
Jesus, oh my goodness. Now here's my now when you were like letting shots go, right? Like, don't lie, right? There were times where you thought you were fucking RoboCop. You were like spinning the motherfucker like around your hand.
No, you don't really do that with a single. You know, when it's just a single action, you don't really do that.
So what
hard to pull the trigger. You end up shooting yourself in the leg like Flexible Bird.
So how do you put it back in the holster? Like, do you have a certain way of putting it back on the holster if you have one? Like, do you do the RoboCop thing, or do you like kind of like, are you like nonchalant, just go, or are you like you do some shit like, you know what I'm saying?
Boom, it's there. The holster's right there. I don't need to. I don't need to.
Right.
Fucking, that's only shit you see in movies.
Yo, fucking Yosemite Sam over here. But dude, and those fucking coyotes are smart, because from I watch a lot of those videos like hunting and stuff like that. I usually watch those videos, and like they say how like they'll like run by like a dog or something, or little dog. Not the little dog, probably mainly the bigger dogs. They'll run by knowing that the dog is going to chase them, and like they chase them, they run all the way, but it's like into the cousins. Like all the cousins are waiting, brothers and sisters, and they get jumped. The bloodline, right? Roman Reigns and the Usos. So they're running to the
coyotes. They're not that smart. Like they're smart as far as like they do hunt in packs, but yeah, they also do like lead them into ambushes. But you can, and there's with like some animals, you can scare them away before they'll really do anything to it. Like if you see a mountain lion, like just don't turn your back to it, and it won't attack you. Like if you keep backing up, keep going the direction you're going, but walking backwards, and don't take your eyes off. With coyotes, though, the only way to fucking get rid of them is you gotta be violent. You gotta get violent with them.
Well, that's kind of like what I was getting into. Like when I saw the video with the little girl getting dragged, I just thought of me. Like in that moment, I would have fucked me up some coyotes, man. Like I would have been like, and it's crazy because I say that, and it'll probably be the other way around. The coyotes, you see the video, you'll be like, what happened? And I'm like, they're like pulling. No, the baby's fine. They're fucking me up. Like one's like pulling on this arm, the other one's pulling on my leg, and they're like fucking biting the shit out of me. I'm like, help. But like in that moment right there, like I think it's for like with the kids. Like I don't know, because even like I had an instance once where we were in the backyard over here in my place, and my 3-year-old was outside, and this fucking pit bull from out of nowhere came like running, and it wasn't charging at her, it was like running towards her. Unworthy, when I tell you I jumped, I barely even like, I did like one of those like Shawn Michaels like a kick up things, like that's what it felt like. I like jumped off my fucking chair so quick and like sprinted, because she was like in the front, like because there's like the sidewalk, and then there's the parking lot, because it's a big apartment complex. It's big, so she was like right there, like she wasn't in the street, but she was like near the grass. And this fucking pit bull, big fucking massive horse-looking fucking dog that looks like you could have fucking mistaken that shit for a fucking mountain lion, because it's big as shit. He fucking starts running towards her, and then he's running friendly, but in my eyes, he's charging at her. Like he's like tail, like he looks nice, but like in my eyes,
tongue like, hanging out, like hey.
Yeah. So he's like,
oh my god, someone to play with.
So I fucking jumped up so quick. And I think I even made a noise. Like I jumped in front of the fucking dog and I went, ah! Or some shit. Like I yelled really loud, because that's probably like the fucking thing that my stupid ass will probably do that, thinking that I'm going to survive like a bear attack. I'll probably be the one to be like, ah! The bear will be like, shut up, bitch. And like smack the shit out of me.
Well, it depends on what bear it is. Black bears, that is how you get rid of black bears. As long as you don't go in between like a mother black bear and her cubs. If a black bear wanders up on you, you can scare them away. They're fucking big.
But no grizzlies.
Start making noise. No, grizzlies you probably don't want to fuck around with them. Polar bears.
You might as well just like call your family that day and be like, hey, I love you guys. do the whole like Blair Witch Project thing. It's like, hey, mom, dad, I'm sorry. I love you guys so much. I'm sorry I gave you such a hard time as a kid.
So then you call me right after. Make sure you
like,
get top dollar for those hot toys.
I'll probably go live on fucking Instagram and say, make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button. Shit, yo. No, seriously, like I saw the dog charging at my baby, man, and I jumped up and like my animal instincts kicked in, man. Like I felt myself turning into an animal. I don't know what animal it was, but it was an animal.
I wish I could have seen.
Oh,
heroic.
Dude,
it sounds heroic.
It was, and I think it was. I think it helped me out that day too. I think I had a great night that night because I think my wife was around. I'm not sure if she was around, but I think if she would have been around, I don't think she was around, but if she would have been around, man, you would have to get towels for her because I'm telling you, the animal that came out, I jumped right in front of that some bitch and I said, "Roar!" And that fucking dog, like, he didn't do shit but like start licking me and jumping on me. Like it was like weird, but like the dog was like, ooh, you're so scary. Yeah. But then the fucking owner comes and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, don't worry, he's friendly. So I'm like, okay, like I didn't argue with him, but like I'm like, all right, well, I wanted to be like, hey dude, like, you know, if you can, just keep your dog on a leash because not everybody's not like whether he's friendly or not.
Some people don't like dogs too.
They don't like dogs, or some people like, you know, we do have Karens that, you know, will say a bunch of shit. So, you know, it was one of those things.
Here's something that you might not know, and I don't usually admit, but I'm not really a dog person. Like I don't dislike dogs. I've had dogs, but like dogs make me nervous. So like when I see a loose dog, I get, you know, I kind of like if it's coming at me and I don't know this dog, it's a stranger's dog. How do I know it's not going to bite? And furthermore, I don't want it all over me anyways. I don't want it to slobber on me. I don't want its hair on me. So like when people, oh, you can pet him. No, I don't fucking want him. Put him on a leash and get him the fuck out of here. How about that?
So you're not a dog guy. So
not really.
I was gonna say, do you collect cats? Like it's a fucking.
No, I'm not definitely not a cat.
So what
I'm
animal?
Not really a pet. Not really a pet.
You're a hunter. That's the one, right?
Yeah, I like because I don't like the name things that you might have to eat. Like if it's apocalypse, doomsday forever too. Like what if the doomsday comes and we have this 300-pound dog because it's a fat lazy sack of shit, and it won't stay off my couch, and now we can't get groceries. Well, guess what, Stu? You're going in the stew pot.
Oh my goodness. Well, Unworthy, I'm glad you said that. So if I do decide to take a trip out there to see you, I'm not gonna eat shit. It's like, hey, you want dinner? I was like, yeah, there's a Wendy's 15 miles away. Let's go to that Wendy's.
I don't have a problem with people with dogs. I don't like to own them. Like if I know the people, like if I go to a friend's house and they've got dogs, it doesn't matter. I'll pet their dog. I'll let their dog. You know, don't lick me. I'll pet the dog. I don't like it when they beg for food. I don't like when they get on my furniture. It's not a pet.
Really? So, did you ever have pets as a kid? Did you have a dog and cats?
Yeah, we had three labs, but they slept outside. They were outdoor dogs.
So, okay. Well, I mean, when I was younger, I'm actually allergic to dogs and cats, believe it or not. The dog that we have now, she's a hyperallergenic dog. But sometimes I'll still get like allergic reactions because she'll roll around in the fucking grass and like sometimes the dust gets on their fur and I'll start sneezing and shit. But it's not because I'm allergic to it, it's because of the dust. But I've always been allergic to dogs and cats. But I used to have cats when I was younger. Like I had 3 cats. I had a big fluffy one. Her name was Kushka. That's what I named her. There was one named Kushka, and then I had a one with blue eyes that I called Diamond. I don't know why I gave her a Diamond, but I just called her Diamond. But then, I if I could choose any one of the two or any animal, I think I'm a fish guy. I think like I'm the guy.
Yeah, fish aren't bad.
No, and I'm talking
very
about,
low maintenance.
No, not like, and I'm not talking like just like exotic fish. Like I'm like a beta fish type of guy. Like you would think
for them. Don't gotta clean their tank.
Shit, right? Like 3-4 pebbles in there, and they're good for like a month, and they'll last you. they'll last you a long time. You take good care of them. You clean the tank and stuff. But I'm more of a fish guy. I've always been a fish guy. But like, if I could choose from a dog and a cat, I have a dog named Coffee. Love that dog. When we first got her, I didn't want her. I was like, oh hell no, I don't want a dog. I got enough fucking kids in the house. I don't need another baby in the house. But then I like fell in love with her. She's great. Enough mouths to feed, but she's fucking great. I love her. Even like when I go over like their house, like she's always doing this thing. Now she's in heat now, so she's like humping every fucking thing now. And we're trying to like get her like to mate with another dog because I want to have one of my own here because just to have one here. But like she's fucking great dog. Like, but the only thing is that she thinks she's a fucking Rottweiler. Like anytime she's around other dogs, she acts like big and bad. Like I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because she's in heat or whatever, but. Anybody can help me out about that. Anybody has a Yorkie that want to mate with my dog? Hey, we could sell some dogs. I don't care. That'll be a great hustle. I'm down for that shit.
My wife, when we got together, she had a Cocker Spaniel, I think it is.
Oh, okay.
Short little fat fucking bitch of a dog. No, I don't like that dog. That dog lives with her dad.
Okay.
I don't like that fucking dog.
Wow, man. You know what though? I would take
short little fat smelly thing.
You kind of like remind me of Daryl from Walking Dead. Like I could see you going hunting, having a dog, and naming him Dog. Like you wouldn't even give him a fucking name. You would name him Dog. Like I could see you being that type of guy. Like you would just have a dog, and he will like anytime. Like
I don't know. I've had dogs. Like I had a. It was a mix. It was actually a very expensive breed dog that got knocked up by a stray, and then I took the puppy. So I can't say I'm not a dog person because I took my mom to go see this. She had found on Facebook Marketplace somebody was selling a treadmill, and so she's like, I don't know, these people seem weird. Will you take me to look at this treadmill? And I was like, yeah. So I went with her, and as we were walking up to the house, there was this tiny little dog tied up with balance twine. Like it was tied up to the fence. It was like below zero outside. And this dog's terribly skinny, shaking, dying, like freezing to death. And I was like, is this your dog? And they're like, oh, I'm not really sure if it's ours or not. He just kind of wandered in. I go, all right, fine. And I cut the balance twine. And I picked the dog up. I was like, it's my dog now. I go, and you can keep your fucking treadmill. So I took this dog home, and he was a good boy. He was like, we saved him, like we got him fattened up, and took him and got him shots and stuff like that. I named him Cash after Johnny Cash. Like he was my little buddy, and he had a bad anxiety problem, like separation anxiety. Like when I left the house, that dog became like he would dig holes through the wall trying to get outside. Bark nonstop, drive my wife it's crazy. So we ended up having to give him to a friend that was like stay at home.
And that was the turning point. That was when you said, I don't want dogs.
Well, so her dog, my wife's dog, she had an issue with pooping in the house every now and then, but like it wasn't like a regular habit for her. So when we had this laundry room in our old house, and we would put the dogs in there when we would go to work, and when we come home, that laundry room would be shit everywhere, piss everywhere, and it's like it's gotta be Cash. It's gotta be Cash doing it. So we're like working hard trying to get him to stop, and like he dug a hole through our laundry room wall into our bathroom, and then busted our bathroom door and was like running around the house when we got home. And so finally I was like, all right, you need to be somewhere where nobody be. You gotta have constant supervision. So we and like we're assuming it's him that's destroying the house and shit and pissing all over the place. And then so we take him, we give him to our friend because he's got like 12 other dogs. And for like the next 2 weeks, wouldn't you believe there's still fucking piss and shit all over the house? It's because this fucking bitch dog that she had was jealous of the attention and was doing it and making it look like he did. So I was like, that's it. I got rid of my best friend and we kept this shit that dog. I'm not having dogs.
I could picture you like when the dog did something wrong, you would yell when everybody was on. He's like, you don't do that. You don't do that. As soon as everybody walked around, I was like, I'm not mad at you, baby. I didn't mean it. Like I was just joking.
I didn't mean that. No,
I didn't mean anything, baby. Face. I didn't mean smushy face. I didn't mean it. So It's funny how we went from talking about Cody Rhodes to talking about fucking dogs.
Well, this has been a lot more interesting conversation than Cody Rhodes.
Oh, stop it. Now, going back, all right, so just going back to the movies, right?
Just going back to
So
Cody Rhodes real quick.
no, actually, now just going back to movies, kind of trending. So Blue Beetle, the embargo has dropped. Blue Beetle has it started on like it's getting good reviews. It's actually fresh right now. It's like certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Right now, I'm looking at it right now. It's currently at 79%, but it was like at 80, 84, 83% before. I don't really give a shit about that stuff, but it's getting good reviews. Like there's good reviews on it. And it's so my thing is that I know we had a conversation about the relaunch of the DC movies and James Gunn taking over. Now, is this movie part of that relaunch? Is the Blue Beetle movie part of the relaunch?
I don't think so. So my understanding is Blue Beetle is coming out, and then there is still Aquaman 2 to come out.
Okay.
And I think there might be one more in the mix, and they're still in the old universe, basically.
Okay.
And then once like the start of the new continuity will be the Superman.
Okay, so the Superman movie is the one that's going to kick it off.
That's going to be the start of it. Okay. That's why like they're going to have Guy Gardner, Green Lantern in it.
Well, do you think that the only reason I asked that is because when James Gunn introduced the Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Only if you are a fan of Marvel comics or you like read other stuff other than like what you know, like X-Men, Wolverine, Captain America, like you know who the Guardians of the Galaxy were, right? But like if you're not a comic book reader, you didn't know who the fuck that you didn't have no clue who the hell you know who Chris Pratt was, but you didn't know who the fuck the Guardians were. So like the reason I asked is because you know, Blue Beetle is like one of those characters that I wouldn't consider him. He's not an A-list hero. He's not. But the reason I asked that question was because I always think of like when he introduced the Guardians of the Galaxy, he introduced like characters that really nobody really knew about, and you know they made you a fan of them. Yeah. So I kind of feel like that's why I asked that question, because I didn't know if that was part of it. Like because
I would think there's probably potential for it to stay and be part of the new continuity. As far as to my understanding, James Gunn doesn't have anything to do with the Blue Beetle. It was already pretty much done before he even took over with what's his face there at DC. So, but it would be my guess if Blue Beetle does really well, and as long as they don't have like direct cameos like Ben Affleck or Henry Cavill or Jason Momoa, like if they don't have any of those guys in it, they can reference him because you know obviously there's that clip going around with George Lopez saying Batman's a fascist. Like so, obviously they're going to mention the bigger universe, the other heroes. But as long as I would imagine if this movie does good, James Gunn could keep on the kid that plays Jaime, and like
I don't see why he wouldn't. I wouldn't see why he wouldn't, because it's a character that a lot of people don't know unless you're a DC fan, diehard DC
Young
fan.
Justice, Teen Titans. If you're a fan of them, then
fan of those, you would know. But like if you're someone who didn't read like comics, like you wouldn't know who the fuck he was. So this is a nice introduction. And I just think like if it's doing good, and I'm hyped for it because I want to see it. But I'm saying like I'm one of those people that I'm really looking forward to seeing what James Gunn and whoever else has taken over to see what they bring. Because from the slate of movies that they have a lot of like movies that are coming out that are characters that really don't get shine as much as they should. For example, Swamp Thing. We're getting a fucking Swamp Thing movie. Like I love Swamp Thing. I think Swamp Thing books are great. And the TV show, the series that came out was great too. So like I love how they're introducing Swamp Thing, and they're giving him his kind of not like the old. Remember the old movies? Did you remember the old movies? The old Swamp Thing movies?
Oh yeah,
I remember the cartoon. I remember the cartoons. The cartoon they had. It used to have like the bats. It was the Wild Thing. It was like the Wild Thing song, but they switched up the words and it said Swamp Thing. Like that was the cartoon. I used to have like the toy.
I don't remember the cartoon.
Yeah, the cartoon was like that, and they also had like I remember I used to own a little they were about like the old classic G.I. Joe figures. It was a Swamp Thing figure where you could kind of like, it was string, so you could like extend his hands and they would get floppy. So I ended up burying that motherfucker one day, and then like I never found him anymore. But but then I saw him at a convention for like 50 cents and I bought him quick. I was like, I used to have this shit as a kid. I want him back. So I got him back. So I'm happy for it. But yeah, like I'm happy.
I'm excited to see what James Gunn does with a lot of these new movies that are coming out. He does have a pretty impressive lineup and like a vision moving forward, which is good because like I don't want to take nothing away from the Snyderverse DC stuff. They were decent movies, but like they could have been done a lot better. And it did seem at times like there was just no fucking rhyme or reason for what was going on.
No, not at all. I do admit I'm a DC fan, and I always said that the way they fucking started kind of the DCEU, it was just like it started off their way. Like Man of Steel, I love Man of Steel.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good movie.
I love Man of Steel. I still love it. I think Man of Steel to me is still one of my favorite DCEU movies. But like it started with Man of Steel. And like, even if Man of Steel didn't do as good, it made money. But even if it didn't get good ratings from like, you could like capitalize on that, right? You could have did other stuff. So it's like, if you're going to start with Superman, that's fine. But I always said, and I will be the first one to say this, I always said that if DC wanted to start with a character to kind of launch the DC universe movie, start with Batman. Because to me, and they kind of, and Marvel kind of did that with Iron Man, right? Because again, if you weren't an Iron Man fan,
but that's they started it with Iron Man, but like Iron Man was not a great big popular character when Robert Downey Jr. debuted. Like,
no, not at all.
People weren't betting on that movie being successful, and look what it did.
No, but I think had they started with a Batman movie, right, to kind of catapult, like if you wanted Batman, because the way I saw it in the DC, in the Justice League, Batman was the leader of the Justice League. He ran the Justice League, right? If that's the direction they wanted to go with, they should have just fucking started with a Batman movie, right? Started with a Batman movie that introduced like different characters, such as like maybe a Blue Beetle, or maybe like other characters that are not powerful, or like other Green Arrow, like give me a Green Arrow movie, or then go into a Flash movie and like little shit like that. And like slowly get to like the big name stars, right? The big name ones. So like, I think Marvel did that. Right when they did Iron Man first, because again, they gave you so much story. So when we got all the way to like Endgame, like you were already invested in all these characters. Like you knew Iron Man's entire movies, and you know what he'd been through, everything Thor went through, everything Cap went through, everything Black Widow, Hawkeye, Hulk, all of them. You knew everything they've lost, all the struggles, everything they went through. So you were so invested. So my thing is like, if you wanted to do that, they should have did that first. They should have started. I always said that they should have started with because Batman, whether I like to say it or not, Batman is a cash cow. That is their like bread and butter. Batman is their bread and butter. Anything Batman related, people are going to jump in, because even when fucking Batman versus Superman came out, as much as you fucking hated the movie, you cannot deny that warehouse fucking scene is not fucking dope. That warehouse scene with Ben Affleck beating the shit out of all those guys was to me, that is the most accurate Batman type scene that I haven't seen in a long time in a movie. Like that was so accurate. Like when I saw that scene in theaters, all I could think was the comics. I'm like, yeah, this is it just reminded me of the fucking comics. It reminded me of the Arkham games. It reminded me of like any animated movies. I was like, that's Batman. That's fucking Batman. That's the way I want Batman to be. It's just they made him so like, he was like fucking killing people and shit like that. I mean, I have an issue with that, but like I think they got caught up with too much of like trying to play the catch up shit with Marvel. and Marvel already put on. Yeah.
And the big thing too that I'm glad to see with James Gunn that he's putting a stop to. Part of the reason that the DCEU was not all that successful is because it gets crazy trying to keep up with everything. Like, because you had Christian Bale Batman movies were just were just done. Like, they were just over with. And then you have Superman coming out, Man of Steel coming out, but in Batman versus Superman, and you have them introducing the Flash and all that, but they also have all the shows going, the TV shows with different actors, different dude playing Superman, different dude playing the Flash, and like it gets confusing for the audience. It the best way I could describe how confusing it must be is if you were a fan of Star Trek back in the day, and it was real big. If you were a big fan of that show, Star Trek, and then you found out there was a Star Trek movie coming out, and you were like, "Hot damn, I got to go watch this." And then it's not Will Shatner; it's like some other cast doing the Star Trek movies. Like you'd be confused. You'd be confused. Like, wait a minute, I thought this was Star Trek. Who are these people? So, like, if you have the guy playing Flash on the CW, and then you have Ezra Miller playing Flash, people are watching the show, they're watching the movie, and they're like, none of this adds up. So, but that's going to be one thing that I'm pretty sure that he stops is that once Superman Legacy comes out, like there's not going to be, if they're going to do shows, it's going to be like the street level heroes, but it's going to be the same actors that are in the movie. Like, and same with their animation, like the people, the actors in the movies are going to do the voices for the animated, unless it's strictly an Elseworlds one, like the War World.
And I don't think Corn Sweat, right? That's the new Superman. I can't get over that. Corn Sweats. I don't think he's the voice of like the Superman in the animated movies, because I'm gonna tell you right now, had they taken the elements from those animated movies and applied them into like live action, we would be having a whole different conversation right now. It would be so different.
I think he is going to be. They just announced the new animated movie that's going to come out next year or year after or whatever of Infinite Crisis, and I'm pretty sure they said Corn Sweat's going to be doing the voice of Superman.
That's good. I like to hear that.
Even though that one's going to be an Elseworld, it's not going to be directly tied to the new DCU. It's still going to have the same actor.
Okay,
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what I heard.
I'm really looking forward to this new Superman movie, because right now, arguably so, right now my Superman is the Superman from the TV show, from the Superman and Lois. That is my Superman right now. That guy is fucking phenomenal. Every episode, even this last season, the last final episode was fucking dope. And even like the CG and the special effects in the show are like top-notch movie quality type fucking effects. Like, it's not like the Flash where you had remember the Flash show where you had like those one scenes like, yo, this CG is so fucking bad. When the Savitar, right? Remember when Savitar was introduced? I fucking hated that fucking design. I hated that design for Savitar. I hated, my favorite ones were always Zoom and Reverse Flash. Those two like characters were, even like the Dark Flash, right? The zombie Flash was fucking dope, right? Even that, but like I fucking hated the design for Savitar. I hated it so much. It looked like it reminded me of Megatron. Like it was a fucking Megatron from Transformers. And it was a bad, like the CG reminded me of like the sci-fi, the low budget sci-fi movies, like like the crocodile movies, or like, what is it, like Sharknado or some shit. Like it reminded me of that. Like it was that bad.
Sharknado.
Yeah, it was fucking terrible. But I'm really looking forward to this new Superman movie and to see, you know, we got two young actors who are playing Lois and Superman, but also to how much of like the cartoons, classic movies, classic TV shows with George Reeves, how much is he gonna bring to this movie, right? Because one of the things that I always missed, because again, I love Henry Cavill. He looked like Superman. There were times where I saw him and I was like, that's Superman, but he wasn't my Superman. He was never my Superman. I loved him because he was Superman, but I could never stay with him and be loyal to Henry Cavill because to me, he still wasn't my Superman. Like to me, nobody has taken the mantle of Christopher Reeves. And the closest person who's done it right now is this new Tyler guy from the TV show. He's probably the one that's doing it now. But like, I feel like I hope that this movie brings a lot of those like cheesy Boy Scout elements. Like, you know, I was always a big fan of the one of Superman 3 when the little boy is about to get fucking killed by the thing that chops up the corn and shit, and like he like picks him up and takes him, and the little boy's like, oh hey, let's go for another ride. He was like, hey, I'll take a rain check, or it's like I'm gonna have to charge you next time. It made some corny ass joke, and I'm like, that's fucking Superman. That's the shit that I want. I want like corny dad joke Superman, Boy Scout Superman. That's what I want. I want that Superman. So I hope this movie does it. But again, Blue Beetle, I'm looking forward to. Blue Beetle, I'm looking forward to. It looks fun.
I think my oldest son and I told him I was going to take him to see it for his birthday. His birthday was a couple weeks ago, and I think it just came out last weekend. So I think we're going to try. I got to work this weekend, but I think we're going to try to go see it after I get out of work on Saturday.
No, I listen. I really want to see it. I really want that fucking popcorn bucket. Did you see the popcorn bucket where it's like the Beetle?
I don't have no theaters where they're going to have that. I got a bougie fucking hole in the wall theater. Like
they give you the cardboard the little cardboard thing. It's like, hey, just throw some part. Or it's like
they were giving out a whole bunch of shit for the Flash movie too. And then when I went to the theater to see that, I went to my theater, the closest one, and they gave me like a little 8x10 poster. That's all that they had out of all.
Let me ask you: do you when you go to the theaters, right? Because this is what I do when I go to the theaters. I'll buy snacks, but the only time I really spend money is if I really want to buy the collector cups or the tin buckets to put my popcorn in, right? But most times when I get there, like I'll stop at the dollar store and just grab a shit ton of snacks, and I'll have my kids stuff them in their coats or like little pocketbooks and shit, like my daughters and stuff, and I'm like, all right, stash these little snacks from Dollar Tree and shit. We're gonna go into the movie theater because I don't want to spend fucking.
It's expensive.
It's expensive as shit.
Yeah.
So like it's funny because we look like we got bulges everywhere.
So my wife and I, when we go to the theater, they tell you not to bring in your own food and drinks, obviously, but like if you have a water cup, like one of the big thermos cups, and you're just like, it's just, you know, I have my own water. They can't tell you not to bring in water. So like she has 2 of those. They're like big fucking water jugs. We'll stop at like Walmart or some store on the way.
Okay.
And we'll get like 2 24-ounce fucking White Claws and 2 24-ounce beers. We'll fill them up and we'll take those in the theater. Well, it also depends on what we're going to see. Because if it's going to be a long movie and I haven't seen it yet, I'm not about to chug down 2 beers and have to go take a piss. You know?
Okay. Yeah, because
we sneak in snacks. But we usually sneak booze in.
I used to get so fucking mad anytime I like took my kids out, like Wonder Woman, right? When we went to go see Wonder Woman when it first came out, the first movie, I got so pissed when like I asked all my kids before we got in. I was like, all right, guys, use the bathroom because I don't want to get up. And like when the movie's starting to get good and I'm like into and invested in, they're like, Daddy, I have to go to the bathroom. I'm like, I just fucking asked you if you wanted to go. So at that point, like I wish like I was working at the hospital at that time because I would have got a urinal and I was like, just use the urinal. It pisses me off because then you miss an important part, but you don't want to be such
vital,
you don't want to be such a piece of shit and not take your child to the bathroom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I just take them to the bathroom. But thank goodness that I have a fucking older kid where I'm like, hey, you take her to the fucking bathroom. You wait for her at the bathroom and I'll wait here and watch the movie. But I do that.
During the fucking pandemic, when everything was closed down, that's the only like I have a ghetto theater, but at least like this was one good thing they did was during the pandemic, they obviously couldn't have the theater open for like a bunch of people to go into.
Okay,
but like you could rent out a theater and have up to 5 people. Like you could bring 5 people,
Mm.
and you 5 could go into one theater and watch the movie. So it was like renting out the whole
Okay.
theater just for
Yeah.
yourselves. And that's when Wonder Woman 84 came out, or 80 whatever.
Yeah.
And like my wife and I love going to the movies together. It's like one of our things. So during the pandemic, we couldn't do that.
Mm.
So like I called ahead. I rented out the whole theater just for her and I to
Yeah.
go watch Wonder Woman. And like you know how they have like the big marquee things over the doors that
Yeah.
say the name of the movie, and it
Uh-huh.
instead of what movie it was, it said the Kinsmans. And
Okay.
like we went in there, we ate our popcorn, and like because there was nobody else to stop us or hear us or tattle on
Okay.
us, like we had like a whole 12 pack of fucking White Claws in our purse that we were just like fucking drinking them right out of the can, eating our popcorn, watching a movie, made out a little bit. It was a pretty good time.
And it was you and the kids, or just you two?
No, just me and my wife.
Oh,
It was kind of
that's
romantic.
it is
She
romantic
It
shit.
was kind of cute because when we walked in, she's like, "So we're gonna have the theater all to ourselves?" And I was like, "Yeah, they rented out. You can have up to 5 people or whatever." I said, "But it's just us." And then we walked around the corner, and they're on the marquee. It says the Kinsmans, and she's like, "Oh!" And she stops, and she's starting to cry, and she's like taking a picture of it. And she's like, "That was the sweetest thing. I can't believe you got him to do that." And I was like, "Yeah, of course I did. Of course I got him to do that." I didn't have the heart to tell her. It was like, no, they do that. That's how they know who's going in what theater.
Well, here's news flash. She's gonna watch this episode and find out.
Well, she knows now. She already knows now because we were talking. Anytime we drive by that theater, she always mentions it. I was like, "Hon, I didn't have them do that. That's just how they
so
differentiate who
you,
was
so
going into
you,
a
so
theater."
you rented. So look at you, you fucking stud. You like you rented a whole theater out. You rented a whole theater out, had your names on the fucking thing and everything. You could bring some White Claws. You're making out and you're watching
We
Wonder
did. We
Woman.
brought a
That,
whole 12 pack of White Claw.
there you go. See, that's the shit I like to hear, right? I like to hear stuff like that, man.
Yeah,
You know what
it
I'm
was a
saying?
good time. I mean, the movie
Like,
sucked. That's probably why we stopped watching it and just got drunk and made out. But
hey, listen, I don't blame you. There have been times where I've been to the movie theaters and I watched like Captain Marvel, right? Captain Marvel was a movie I fucking hated. I saw the movie and I like fell asleep a couple of times to it. Like I hated it so much. I don't know what it is about like what is Brie Larson, right? Is that her name?
I
Brie
don't like
Larson.
her.
She just has this like look on her face. Like even this new movie, right? I'm honestly, I haven't really been interested in none of the Marvel movies that have been out, but like Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man No Way Home, what else?
Morbius, best movie of the year.
Right? Morbius. Yeah, like I haven't really been into like the Marvel movies and invested into the Marvel movies as I was in the past because again, a lot of the I don't know, man. They gave us you took away my like it's like those 10 years were for us. Those
Yeah.
10 years were for us. For us, like when we the ones that started in the beginning, who watched the first Iron Man movie, those were our movies.
Yeah.
And then like you're introducing all these other characters now, and it's like and all these like people taking the mantles and all this shit, and you're like, yeah, fuck you. I don't want to watch this no more. Like I think the only I mean, honestly, I mean the movies are kind of still doing well, but they're not. I think right now what's going on is like where there's a lot of like
I think it's a lot of
superhero,
burnout.
yeah, like superhero fatigue
And
now. Like
yeah, and
yeah,
Disney, and for what it's worth, and we already preambled that we're not apologizing for things anymore.
no, we're not.
But
Fuck that.
so if you are easily offended, you might not want to hear what I have to say about Disney. They spend too much fucking time trying to be politically correct and
Mm-hmm.
all inclusive, and it fucking ruins it for us. Like I don't have a problem with them recasting
Mm-hmm.
Captain America and having him as a black. I don't have a problem with it. As
Mm-hmm.
long as you make that story work, that's fine. If
Yeah.
you can tell me
Mm.
a story that makes me interested in it, that's
Okay.
fine. But if you just give me a stupid story with a new Captain America because you want to be on the nose and so, oh, we're so woke, this whole fucking woke bullshit. We're so woke. We have a black superhero, Captain America. It's like, okay, but the story sucks. It has nothing to do with the fact that the guy that plays him is African American. this fucking
Mm-hmm.
story that you're telling sucks. But then if you
Yeah.
don't go watch that movie, Disney looks down their nose at you and shame, you're racist. You're not watching this because it's a person of color. It's like, no, it's because you fucking stuff shit. It's garbage.
No, seriously.
Terrible writing.
No, absolutely. And I think there has been a lot of like lazy writing and lazy stuff on that.
Yeah.
Like there's been a lot of it. So I agree. I honestly I haven't been excited for a Marvel movie like I have been in the past, right? Like when the Avengers Infinity War came out. Remember how big that was when the trailer dropped? That shit went to like 1 billion views or like 1 million views and like within a few minutes. And that shit like broke the fucking internet, like, you know what I'm saying, so fast. And it's not like that anymore. Like I don't feel, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe diehard Marvel fans feel like, oh, the momentum is still there. They're still doing, but like honestly, like a
I
lot
think
of the
they put
movies.
too much focus in on the Disney Plus series. Like,
Yeah.
there's been a lot of the Disney Plus series, and only a few of them that were good.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And also too,
like
like
I
the
hope
fuck,
they do another season of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I hope they do that. And like,
it was
really,
good.
I know that they're going to have not Civil War, Captain America 4,
Mm-hmm.
New World Order. I'm looking forward to that. I
Mm-hmm.
wish they had done a little bit better with She-Hulk because I would love the second season of that. Really, the only good standout one was Loki. Like, I'm definitely.
I was
that.
I was a WandaVision fan. I really
That
love
was
WandaVision.
really good too.
WandaVision was good for
I think
me,
they
and I
just
really
oversaturated everybody with all these
yeah
because they were still
the
putting out
shows
movies plus all these series, and it's like,
yeah.
how are you supposed to fucking keep up?
No, I know. I think eventually they're gonna have to. I think eventually they're gonna probably bring a lot of the original. I mean, there's talks about bringing Robert Downey Jr. back, right? That's still a talk, and you know he's
He
gonna probably
needs
do
it.
it.
That
But
Doctor
seriously,
Doolittle money didn't get him very far.
right? What the fuck? Or the what is it? The soloist with Jamie Foxx that didn't work out for him. So no, Robert Downey Jr. is fucking phenomenal. Or bring him back as like what was this character's name in Tropic Thunder? What was his name? What was his fucking name in Tropic Thunder? Like I gotta look this shit up.
The dude. I'm just a dude playing a dude who's playing another dude. I know who I am. I can't remember. I could only ever think of Tug Speedman.
You imagine if they like bring Iron Man. Yeah. You imagine if they bring Iron Man back and it's not Tony Stark, it's that character. I'm a guy dressed as a dude, disguised as another dude, disguised as a metal dude. That movie was so fucking good, man.
I love that movie.
That's like one of his like you couldn't get away with that shit right now. Like that shit right now. Like even going back into like the conversation about how things are, how sensitive shit is now. Like even white chicks, right? You can't get away with that right now.
Never.
Like right now, it would be such a fucking thing now. And I even mentioned this on the Pick Bar, and I'm gonna mention it now. I grew up with Pee Wee Herman. Yeah. I love Pee Wee's Great Adventure. I love that. That's an iconic movie. I even introduced my kids to that movie. I didn't tell them anything about what happened in the movie theater because they don't need to know that. They need to know who Pee Wee Herman was to me as a child, right? He was a positive, funny character. He was awkward, but he was funny. My favorite scene in that movie will always be the bar scene where he's like fucking dancing, and then in the end they give him the jacket and he like drives with the motorcycle, but then he crashes into the fucking thing. That's always gonna be my scene in that movie. But like I mentioned this yesterday on the show, right? Like he fucking goes to a adult movie theater, and he whacks off in a movie theater and gets caught.
Right, which bad call. Shouldn't have done that, but
I mean, what
else are you gonna do when you're watching porn?
I mean, that's my thing though, right? Like it's a bad call, but like, did they have signs up saying, "Hey, we asked that nobody pull your junk"?
Was it obvious? Was he standing there like I didn't know I wasn't allowed to. What do you mean?
No, like I don't was like back then, right? Was there signs that said that, or even like you know how they say how they got the no smoking sign, and they'll have like the no.
Was it like
negative.
A no? No sign with
it was a fucking hand with a dick in the fucking hand, and they were fucking like it was just like, or even like the fucking like you know how they do like the stick people and like the fucking guy just holding his shit with the like no sign on it. The like don't do this sign. Like that's my question. Was there signs that said, hey, due to the volume of don't jerk off at a porn fucking movie theater, right? So
I don't know because if you read the fucking like there was various fucking reports too back then, and like you could still find them today where like some of like the initial report said that he didn't even like you could tell that's what he was doing, but like he was still in his pants, like he hadn't pulled it out. He was just like kind of giving himself a rubby through the fucking cloth, and then after that they changed it and said that he did have it out. But like one of the arresting people or one of the cops or whatever, they were like, no, he didn't have his dick out.
But my thing is, but the thing that fucks me up too is like how many more people before
exactly.
Paul Rubens went in that theater and whacked off and got away with it, but because he's a fucking celebrity and because he was like he was a children, was he a children, he was like a children's it's like having Steve from Blue's Clues, right? I love Steve from Blue's Clues, like going to a porn, like if I maybe as a kid, I wouldn't want to hear about Steve going to a movie theater, a porn theater, jerking off. I would feel awkward about it as a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't even know about this, but as an adult, if I hear that Steve was caught at a porn movie theater jacking off, like I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna fucking watch Blue's Clues every day because Steve is my fucking hero.
You're gonna be like, no way, he was jacking off, and then you're like, I don't know what that means. Looking up, I don't know. That sounds like a lot of fun. I don't know. I think I'm gonna try jacking off.
And go to school and tell all your friends, it's like, hey, do you guys jack off? Because fucking Steve jacked off.
I jacked off like 17 times this week.
I jacked off more than you today. How many times did you jack off? Oh, 3 times. I did it 4. But like,
meanwhile, they have no idea what it means. They're like,
what?
I'm
Right?
just so tired from jacking off all weekend.
Honestly, I still feel to this day that he was caught. People have done, even the fucking employees. You cannot tell me that none of those fucking employees that worked at that porn theater weren't like masturbating to any of those movies. Like you get discounts for you. Like if you work, like maybe they were getting discounts. They do it now, right? You work at a movie theater. Even if you work at like a fast food place, McDonald's or a Burger King, right? You get a discount for all the food, right? You don't have to pay full price. You get some sort of discount because you work there. So how many of those employees that worked in that fucking theater weren't getting discounts? Like, well, if you charge the $20 or $15 to watch a movie, you're gonna get it for $5. So how many of those motherfuckers for $5 weren't whacking off before Pee Wee Herman did? Left all their stains all over the seats, right? Here's Pee Wee Herman. Here's Pee Wee Herman, fucking famous guy. It's like they were like, in a way, I feel like he was set up.
Yeah.
He was set up.
I mean, I think really where he went wrong was going to that sort of theater anyway. Being who he was,
but where?
Come on, you can't go to the Blockbuster and rent a couple movies, man. Like, come on.
But that's my thing. He's a fucking adult. He wasn't a child. There weren't kids in there. He's a fucking adult who went to come on.
I know. I agree. I'm saying though, when you have some sort, because you, like you said, people have done it in there before. You can't prove that they didn't. You can't convince me that nobody else did it before Pee Wee Herman got caught. And I agree.
No,
so, as Pee Wee Herman, as a celebrity, knowing that he's probably not going to get away with it, I wouldn't have gone into that theater. I would have gone and I would have rented a couple movies from Blockbuster, and I'd have gone right home because he's probably got a big bed. And he's got probably a VHS player. He's got like 3 fucking VHS holes.
But you also got to look at the reasons why, right? You got to think of the reasons why. What if, right? He's a big star, right? He's big. He's a big star. Like, come on, it's Pee Wee Herman. There's no way in hell he wasn't like banging chicks and shit. He was banging fucking chicks. There's somebody out there for everybody. I don't care if she was an ugly chick, a prostitute. I don't give a fuck what she was. Maybe he was in a relationship and maybe his girl wasn't giving him none. And maybe he was like, you know what? I have this urge because my girlfriend's feeling some type of way. And or maybe it was like a bet, or I don't fucking know. Like, I think it was stupid. Like, now that I think about it,
I don't think we'll ever know now.
It sucks though. Like, but then also it's like it's like it was held over his head. And that's another thing that pisses me off. Is like he passes away. Everybody's like, oh my God, my childhood hero, here this, that. But when he fucking whipped his dick out at a fucking porn fucking thing, right? Which was the most appropriate. That's like if I go to church and whip my dick out in church. It's a whole different story.
Yeah, that's not right.
Inappropriate. I should get crucified, fucking sent to jail, or you fucking whip it out somewhere at a mall. You would just whip your shit out and just do so. That's different. You're in a porn fucking theater. You're becoming one with yourself. You're releasing stress because he could have fucking did something. He could have did something stupid. Maybe he was angry about something. He just wanted to release some stress, and he was at the appropriate place. So if I go to church, I'm going to church to pray, right? And then, so why he couldn't go to the fucking porn theater and, touch his Richard Grayson? Why was that bad?
I'm not going to argue with it. I think you're right. He could have done a whole lot worse. But also, you probably shouldn't put your dick out in public anyway. There probably isn't many appropriate places to pull your dick out in public.
No, I just think me personally, and I'm saying this now, if I'm at a porn theater where they're only showing porn, I'm whipping my shit out. Fuck it. I'm whipping my shit out. And if I got my lady, they'll probably see, nowadays we'll get this. It'll be like a whole line. You know how you leave? You know how the theaters have this whole, it's like the big stairway of the theater, and it's just a bunch of rows, and then you got that one opening where you walk in and walk out.
You'll be running up it like fucking Ultimate Warrior, high-fiving.
All the fucking employees will be lined up in a one. They'll be doing the slow chat, and then it'll all pick up, and then it'll yeah, and then it'll start cheering, and as I'm walking with my shit, I'm like, yeah, right. Stop it. Like the Ultimate Warrior, right? Like Bret Hart. I'm just fucking pull a Cody Rhodes, take my belt off and give it to somebody.
take your pants off and drape the legs right over their neck.
Holy shit, man. That kills me, man. That fucking kills me because I mentioned it last night and I saw some videos about it and people were like, I think, and even a comedian was on and he was saying I think we owe Pee Wee Herman an apology. Because look at all the shit that's allowed now. Look at all the shit that's allowed now and the shit that people get away with now. Social media, TV, fucking movies, parades, you name it, it's just everywhere, right? Everything is allowed. And like I said, I am whatever the way anybody wants to live their life, I don't give a fuck. As long as you don't involve kids, I don't do none of that shit. But here's a man who had a great career and he did something at a place where, okay, you shouldn't whip your dick out, but it was a porn, again, where there's signs. I hope the fucking owner of that theater is still alive and he's watching this fucking.
You just want to know if there's signs. Are you sure it wasn't allowed? Did he know it wasn't allowed?
Did you have
Did you make it obvious to him it was not allowed to put his
right? Did you give him a pamphlet, or a waiver? Have him sign a waiver saying, "Hey, when you're in this theater, you're able to watch. You're not able to whip your dick out in the theater." Did you have him sign a waiver, or were there signs posted on the wall saying, kind of like the COVID signs, in the hospital, there was no more than 6 people allowed in an elevator, that kind of sign, you can't whip your dick out in this theater, even if it's a porn place. Did you have those signs? Because it's they have them in
strip clubs, which is ironic because I think I've had my dick out way more times in strip clubs than I have ever at a movie theater.
Well, I mean, I can understand a strip club, but my thing is, yeah, you can't whip your dick out in a strip club. But my thing is I mean, again, yeah, it's strip club, yeah, because they're dancers, and even the dancers sometimes tell you not to, no touching, they tell you not to touch and stuff like that. But I mean, people do it anyways. But my thing is, this man went to go watch a movie. And I think he was appropriate to do what he did. I think he did what he had to do. He didn't offend any. It wasn't It was offensive.
So you
then.
keep saying appropriate. I don't think you know what that word means. I don't think it was appropriate.
Well, it's kind of like the fucking conversation we were having yesterday about like how I try to convince myself that I need something. I'm trying to convince myself that it was okay. Like it was okay for Pee Wee. Like I feel like if I was there and I was like sitting on the other row, I would have saw him and I would have probably given him that look like
yeah, I get it, buddy.
Yeah, man. Like everyone was like, right on, man, right on. Type shit.
You'd be like
all right. He's like over there and he's doing his thing, and I'm like looking at him, I'm like, right on, man. And he's like looking at me embarrassed, and I'm like giving him one of those like my man type shit.
Like, too sweet across the aisle.
Right, to one of those like the outsider shits. And like and then we're sitting like next to each other, and as he's still doing it, we're like, too sweet.
Too sweet.
Holy shit, man. Like, but again, that goes to show you how so much has changed, man. So much has changed.
Yeah, I mean, there has been a lot changed, but I still think no matter what, I still think it's not appropriate to pull your dick out in the theater. That's just me. I'm not saying I think Pee Wee Herman got the wrong. I think he got the raw deal. I think he got a raw deal. He got screwed over. He got turned into a fucking pariah. Like I want, if I was me, like if I was my age now, then like when that happened, I'd have been defending this man, been like, what? Like none of you fucking assholes jerking off feels good. What do you think he was gonna do?
Well, that's another thing too, right? And this is a perfect example. I was having a conversation with somebody, and we were talking about R. Kelly, and I grew up with R. Kelly music. I always thought R. Kelly was a phenomenal artist. His music was phenomenal. I loved it. He was so creative, so talented, right? Gave us one of the best tracks from the Space Jam, right? Like all his music was great. But then you find out all the shit that he did, right? And then me and my buddy were talking, and he was telling me, like, you know,
degenerate.
I still, even after everything he did, I'll still listen to R. Kelly. And I'm like, I could understand that. But at the same time, I was saying to him, I can't get over the fact that all the stuff that he did. Because had I known all the stuff that R. Kelly did, I probably would have been supporting him like that at all, right? Because we didn't know. Because back then, just like wrestling, we didn't know about the backstage drama. We didn't know none about that shit. That shit was all covered up. Nobody was talking about it. Now it's all snitching. Everybody wants to know everything. You know about the drama. You know about the controversies. You know about everything. Back then, we didn't know. It was all speculation. So, like, if I'd have known that about him, I would have never supported that music. As much as it would have hurt me, because I had fucking a lot of R. Kelly CDs. Like, the Double Up CD was like one of my fucking favorite CDs. Like, I used to play that shit all the time. And like when I found that out, I couldn't support it because, again, I'm a father of daughters, and I couldn't fathom that. I couldn't. It's like a moral thing. It wasn't because like I had to be like, you know what? As much as I love them as an artist, I can't support somebody like that because of I have daughters and I think of my daughters, right? But then you got somebody like Pee Wee Herman, who people are like,
he wasn't hurt nobody, just loving himself.
He wasn't in front of kids. He wasn't fucking in front of a school. He wasn't at a regular movie theater. He was at a fucking adult video movie theater. And he whipped this shit out. And probably the guy next to him, was he alone? I can't remember if he was alone in the theater.
I think that's another thing that varies, whether he had his dick out or not. Like that varies. Like there was a packed house in some reports. There was like 2 or 3 people in there, and they were all spaced out. Well, like if you go into a movie theater and there's like 3 people in there, and you're going into a porn theater, you think they're sitting next to each other if they don't know each other?
Unworthy. I know what happened. I know exactly what happened. He whipped his dick out. The guy next to him was sitting with his girl. The guy next to him, who was he was doing the same thing, noticed that Pee Wee's dick was bigger than his. So
he's like, I thought your name was Pee Wee.
So he got butthurt. So he's like, all right, fuck you. You're a celebrity. I'm really going to ruin yourself. So he said, hey, I'm trying to watch this porn movie, and I was going to jack off, but then this guy whipped his dick out.
It's really hard for me to masturbate with this guy.
But that's another thing too. Like, how the fuck do you go to somebody and snitch on somebody like that? It's like, hey, Like that's weird. That's kind of like a hypocrite. Like it's kind of being a hypocrite, right? Like I'm at a porn place watching people do adult stuff, and you can't sit there and tell me, and you're like, man, I love the acting in this movie.
Yeah, great storytelling.
Like, great storytelling. Like I wonder if James Gunn is writing this, or
The director better win a Woody for this.
like they bet this movie is Oscar worthy. Like nobody sitting in that theater is watching the movies and like not feeling, some sort of like anything, right? Here's this man was brave. He was like fucking
he was feeling something.
He was like to me, he was like Mel Gibson in Braveheart. He was like, he wanted his freedom. He wanted to feel free, and he was willing to represent and take a fall for it. He's like, fuck this shit. I want to just show everybody that you could do this and be proud of it.
Look at me, guys.
I know you are, but what am I? Oh my God. So he like, I don't know, man. It's just so fucking like I think about it and I'm like, it's sad, dude, because it's like you made a mistake, whatever happened, but then you're like fucking named all this shit. You're like talked about, you're like made fun of, all this shit. But then it's like when you die, everybody misses you. It's like, oh, he was my childhood hero. Oh, this and that. Oh, that and this. I'm like, if you're gonna talk about me like that, like if I was that guy, remember me as the guy that whipped my dick out at a porn place. Just call me that. Keep calling me that because I was proud of that shit.
I'd do it again right now if I could.
Seriously. And Paul Rubin, if you're in heaven watching this, wherever you are, if you're watching this, we salute you, brother. Yeah. I salute you. I'm with you, brother. And you know what? You had every right to touch yourself as much at that place. You had every right to do it. And you know what? If I was sitting next to you, I probably would have gave you a too sweet. I would have given you a too fucking sweet. I would have done it. I didn't give a shit. It's crazy, man. Like it just baffles me, man. And it really, honestly, I took that shit personal. I was like, fuck, man, you gonna shit on Pee-wee because he was being an adult? He wasn't a kid. Like, what am I supposed to, like, honestly, like what, as a kid, right? As a kid, if I was a kid, right? And I'm in the bathroom and my mom or something, my mom walks in on me, right? And I'm doing whatever, right? Like, my mom wouldn't look, I mean, I'm in the bathroom, not in the
she
living
probably
room.
would. She'd probably be like, oh boy.
You're gonna go blind, kid.
You're never gonna come out of that room.
You're gonna shoot your fucking eye out, kid. Oh my God. It's just fucking crazy, man. Like, and then you see this a lot. Like, I'm sorry. I just love how we went from Cody Rhodes to fucking DC. Now we're talking about Paul Rubens and the whole scandal here.
Well, I got one celebrity that you follow. You said about R. Kelly. It made me think there was a celebrity, a musician. I listened to all of his music, went to concerts, big fan, and then like I ended up hating him, and like I guess hate's a bit of a strong word. I hated something he did, and now I won't. Now I don't support his music. I don't support nothing he does, and that's Lil Wayne.
Oh yeah,
he used to be a huge Lil Wayne fan. I used to go to watch his concerts. Used to buy all of his albums. And then he had that fucking video where he threw an American flag on the ground and started walking on it. And I was like, off the TV. I threw out all of his CDs. I removed them all off of my iPod. Like I was like, no, I'm not doing it
anymore. Yeah. And arguably so, that was inappropriate to do. And I agree with you. Like it wasn't you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, okay, you're at a concert. I just like movies, right? I don't think politics and stuff, and you see that's a lot, right? You see a lot of politics in music. You see a lot of politics in movies. You see a lot of politics at the award ceremonies. You see a lot of this shit. It's like, just keep it about what it is. Like, I don't need you to tell me about shit that I already see on the news. I'm watching this because I want to see my favorite actor or actress win an award. I don't give a fuck about what we're talking about here. I understand that they do it because it's like, whatever, they just feel the need that they need to do it. But I agree with you. Like, I think there's a time and place. I mean, I feel like everybody has a right and a freedom of speech to do whatever they feel they need to do to express how they feel, whether we like it or not, right? Because I would have never went that route. I would have never done that because I love this country. But you whip your dick out at a movie theater, a porn movie, and I can't let that go. And you
you can't.
It bothers me. You get crucified. You literally get crucified. You get fucking thrown in the dirt. You get stepped on. You get called all this shit. And it's like, dude, I was at a fucking porn place. Like, what? Like, what the fuck was I supposed to do? That's like hiring a hooker and you bring a hooker home and you guys want to do like a reading group. You guys want to read the Harry Potter books together. Like, hey, baby, you read a chapter and I'm gonna read a chapter. Like, the bitch gonna look at you like, no, I want to suck your dick right now. Like, I don't want to.
This Harry Potter's got me warmed right up.
I want to put that wand in my mouth right now. I don't want to read this fucking book. So it's like, it's weird, man. Like, there's a lot of celebrities that have done shit now. Like, again, going back to like how things were back then and how things are now, right? With movies, with just people's actions and stuff like that, right? Like, honestly, like, I feel like a lot of even like the rock stars, right? Look at all the shit the rock stars did, right? They like slept with a bunch of women, but also they groped a bunch of women. Like, that shit wouldn't fly right now. That shit wouldn't fly right now. Like, that shit, like, honestly, any fucking rock star right now who's groping a woman.
Think of Louis
like,
C.K.
Yeah. Even like fucking those like back then in the rock concerts, right? You used to get the women who used to be on their boyfriend's shoulders, and like the rock stars would be playing, and then they lift their shirts up and they flash the artist, right? Like, you do that shit now. Like, back then, like, was that looked at as like bad back then?
No, I mean, it was like the bands loved it. They put it on their promos for their fucking concerts and like.
But we weren't like. But like now, it's like when they do it, when the ladies do it now at a concert, it's like feminism or like women stuff. Like, hey,
yeah, it's empowering.
It's empowering now. Like, back
Look
then,
at me, I'm so empowered by showing my titties off. Like, okay, cool. I'm empowering you to keep showing them off. I like what's going on here. I'm supporting you.
Yeah, right. I just can't get over the Paul Rubens thing, man. Like, again,
I know you keep coming back to it. You can't let it go.
Rest in peace, Pee Wee Herman. He was a great part. He's still a great part of my childhood. I will watch Pee Wee's Great Adventures. I will watch Pee Wee's Great Adventures. I will watch Batman Returns. I will watch Blow with Johnny Depp. I will watch all these movies because he was one of my guys back then. That's the guy I remember.
Was Paul Rubens was in Batman and Robin?
And not Batman Robin. He was in Batman Returns. He played the Penguin's dad. He also played the Penguin's dad in the TV show, in the Arkham show. They recasted him. Yeah, they recasted him. And it's like, it's crazy too, because he's like, from what I hear, he was like you didn't hear a lot of bad shit about him. Like just that was like the one thing.
I like to jerk off. Big deal.
Like, what the fuck? Like, what's the difference between him doing it at I don't know. I can't let it go. It just bothers me. It bothers the shit out of me.
And it turns out he couldn't let it go either. He was in a scene. They're like, hey, stop doing that. And he's like, I can't let it go. I can't let it go.
He probably was just like, just give me 1 second, guys. 1 second.
I said, give me a minute.
Oh, my goodness, man. It's just bananas to me, man. It's so fucking crazy, yo. It's bananas to me. But, yeah, dude, like, another fucking, even the boxers now, right? Like, you get all these boxers. Like, Mike Tyson arguably saw all the shit that he did back then wasn't right, because he did a lot of fucked up shit. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was another one. But even like Mayweather, right? Roy Jones, right? He had a fucking incident where he like beat up his ex-wife or some shit like that. He beat up like why the fuck are we still calling him like the greatest fighter of all fucking time? Like, I don't support that shit. I mean, he is a great fighter, but I mean, I don't know.
That's always a touchy subject, like the spousal abuse thing. Like, I got two things to say about that. You should Never,
Never.
ever,
Never.
ever put your hands
Ever.
on your woman.
Never.
On any woman.
Any
but
woman.
especially not your one. Ever. You should.
Unless you're doing what
but
Paul
for these
Rubens did.
fucking people that say, there is no reason whatsoever to hit your wife.
Never.
Because let me just tell you something here.
Go ahead.
This might be cancer. You could wake me up in the middle of the night, drunker than a bastard, 5 a.m, rattle me out of bed, and I could name 5 reasons on why I should give my wife a right hook.
Okay.
But I don't, and I won't, because I know it's not right, and I should never do it. But to say there's no reason to do it is a stupid fucking statement to make. For you to say there is no reason to hit a woman, that's bullshit. I can name a dozen reasons right now why you acceptable reasons to give a woman a fucking a right elbow. But that doesn't mean you should. You should never do it. Okay. Don't ever do it. It's wrong. But to say that there's no reason for it, that's a dumb fucking thing to say.
Well, and also if you think about doing it, just do what Paul Rubens did and just invite her to go to a porn theater.
Just go beat it. Beat it. Just beat it.
I'm gonna end the Paul Rubens topic here. If I hear about any fucking celebrity going to an adult theater and they're doing that and he's not getting shit for it, I'm gonna riot. I'll end it there. I'll end the conversation about Paul Rubens there. If any celebrity, I don't give a fuck who it is, gets caught at an adult theater doing what Paul Rubens did and he doesn't get shamed for it or even talked down or his career goes down, fuck you, you fucking hypocrites. Don't ever say you're a Pee Wee Herman fan because you're not. Fuck that, because Pee Wee Herman had every right to do what he did. It was his body. He wasn't doing it in front of anybody, kids or anything. He wasn't being a pervert. He was by himself in a seat that he paid for. And I guarantee you those owners didn't have signs that said, don't do this, don't do that. They didn't have any pictures, posters. They didn't even show a video before the fucking movie played to say, hey, you know how the theater shows you, turn off your phone.
It says, put your phone on silent. Please, no smoking. Like, the next one should have been, put your phone on silent, no smoking, and don't pull your dick out. Like, yeah, was there a warning?
There was no warnings. I guarantee you there were no fucking warnings. And you're a fucking hypocrite because guess what? I guarantee you that the owner of that fucking theater, he jacked off a billion more times before Pee Wee Herman did. But you guys shamed him and belittled him and made him look out to be like a fucking monster because he was famous and because he was more famous as you. And you know what? He probably had a bigger dick than your husband anyways. So fuck you. All right, I'll end it there. Sorry. But other than that, talk about movies. Going into the movie topic, right? So we talked about DC, we talked about Cody Rhodes, we talked about theaters. Yep. So now, what movie? Is there any movie now? I mean, I think me and you have talked about this before, where we were going to have an episode where you would watch a movie and I would watch a movie. And we would talk about it.
I would recommend, or I would give you a movie that you had to watch. You would give me a movie that I had to watch. And then talk about it. Yeah. As to why you made me watch that one, I made you watch that one.
Okay, so let's do this now. What movie would you recommend me to watch? And I will watch it. As a matter of fact, I will watch it tonight. I have the day off tomorrow, so I will watch it tonight. If I can find it.
Yeah, that's the thing. There was two that I was thinking of, but I looked them up and I could not find where you could stream them. So I'm gonna have to do my research a little more. Okay. But there was one that I grew up watching with my dad. He had the VHS, and it was called The Buttercream Gang.
I watched it.
It's kind of like a.
I watched it.
You've seen it?
I've seen it already.
Movie.
I saw that movie. I wasn't always a nice kid, but I used to go to this program for kids that were really bad. And that was one of the movies that it was about the kids who were like neighborhood. They were good kids in the neighborhood. They would always do stuff for kids, but one of the kids goes away and he comes back an asshole and he beats up like they were like the Buttercream Gang because I saw that movie. I did watch that movie. I actually remember that movie. It's a great movie.
I've watched that a lot of times. I watched that a lot when I was younger. That's why I was like, I got to find this and have him watch it so he could remind me what's going on.
I saw that movie. I definitely saw that movie. I'm
Well, then the
surprised
other one I
you
was going to
mentioned that
suggest.
movie.
Well, yeah, we used to watch it all the time. We used to have
A
the
lot of people,
VHS.
a lot of people never. A lot of people don't know about that movie. Like I've mentioned, like the Buttercream Gang movie. Like, hey, it's like, did you ever watch the Buttercream Man movie? And they're like, is that a porn movie?
It sounds like
No,
it
it's
could
not.
be.
It sounds like a
Is
good
that
one,
what?
right?
Is that the one Paul Rubens was watching in the theater?
Probably Paul Rubens. I gotta get me a Pee Wee Herman shirt now. I gotta get a Pee Wee Herman shirt now. Fuck this. I'm gonna look one up.
So
now.
the other one is one that I know that you haven't watched unless you watched it just since I talked about it the last time. I
Okay.
think it was when Dead Man was on, and that's that movie Heavy with Liv
Heavy.
Taylor and I can't
Okay.
think of that guy's name again. About the
It's called.
heavyweight guy.
Okay. Oh, Whale. You talking about Whale?
No, it's called Heavy.
Oh, okay. It's called Heavy. And who's in
Yeah,
that movie?
because I was like, I think it's called Fatso, and Dead Man was like, no, it's not called Fatso. Hold on,
Heavy.
I'm getting the
Okay.
cast again.
Okay.
Liv
Heavy.
Taylor is in it.
Liv Taylor.
Pruitt Taylor Vince, the dude. He was in
Okay.
Constantine, and he was Earl from Walking Dead.
Oh, okay. Okay. So Heavy.
Yeah,
Is that one? So that's one
but
you
I couldn't
recommend for me.
find anywhere where it was streaming. Yeah,
Okay, so I have to look
it
that one
was
up.
one. It's the one because we were talking about movies that made you cry, and I was like, Heavy fucking tore me up because I was a fat kid, and this guy was just trying to eat his lunch, and these people were bullying him for being heavy, and he was eating.
Okay.
And then he had like falls in love with Liv Taylor. Like, yeah, you gotta.
Okay. So that's one I'll check out. Now,
That's the one that I'm telling you should watch.
okay, so that's one. And now, one movie that I recommend for you to watch is Instructions Not Included. You got to watch that movie.
I've
And I'm
seen
not gonna
that.
say
Yeah,
you
that's a good
seen it?
one. Yeah.
Okay, you seen it already?
Are you talking about? Is that the one with Tom Hanks? Right.
No. It's the
Oh,
one with the Latino comedian. Instructions. Let me look it up. Instructions Not Included right here. It's with
oh yeah. Okay. I guess I didn't.
Eugenio. Watch that one. That's one that I highly recommend. So I'll watch Heavy and you'll watch that one. That one I think you could find in certain spots. Now, if you can't watch that one, another movie that I highly recommend for you to watch is Simon Birch. Check out Simon Birch.
I
Jim
think
Carrey's
that one.
actually. You
Yeah.
have
It's been so long. I wouldn't remember any of it.
okay, so if not Simon Birch, watch Bad Boys with Sean Penn. You ever watch Sean Penn, Bad Boys?
I think so. I've
Really?
seen. I've seen a lot of movies. I just don't remember a lot of movies. Like
Okay.
sometimes I'll be trying to describe a movie and I'm like, I don't know what it was called and I don't know who was in it, and then I'll name a couple scenes from it and they're like, oh, you're
Okay.
talking about fucking, and it's like some popular movie. They're like, you don't
Okay.
remember any of that? I was like, no, I don't fucking remember. I don't remember half the shit I've watched.
I gotta check that out. All right, so heavy.
Trying to
Heavy's a
think of
movie.
what was the last. I just had that happen. I was talking to one of the guys from work. And I was like, what was that fucking movie called? I forgot it already again. I was like, it had that one, the one guy, he was like Willy Wonka. Like he played Willy Wonka. And then there was the guy that he was a comedian, and like
Oh,
the
you're talking
one was
about.
deaf and one was
Oh,
blind.
see, it was
And like I
see no
named this
evil,
whole scene. Yeah, and
see
they're
no
like, you're
evil,
talking
speak
about,
no evil.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're like, that's a
Jim
classic movie
Wilder.
that's famous.
Jim
I'm like,
Wilder.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
the one.
Jim Wilder. I know that movie. I know that
Yeah.
movie. It was a great movie. Okay, so I'm gonna watch Heavy, and you're gonna watch which one? Instructions Not Included.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk.
It's streaming. I found it where it's streaming at Tubi.
and we're gonna talk about these movies on the next episode. All right, we're gonna briefly talk about how we felt about how these movies made us feel.
Have you ever seen? Well, I was trying to think of the other one that I just remembered that I was going to suggest if you couldn't find the other two was Powder, but you probably have seen that
I think I've seen Powder with
with
the
the
kid that
albino
was,
guy.
I don't, he had like
He's
powers
albino
or
and he had like some
something.
sort of powers. I was
Yeah.
like, and then as I was trying to remember how to describe it, I was like, holy shit! Maybe I ought to rewatch that one.
There's a lot of like classic movies that a lot of people haven't watched. Like, have you ever watched My Family, where uh with the cast of Selena in it? Like Jennifer Lopez is in it. Um, uh,
I think so.
the guy that played Selena's dad is in it, and who else? The guy that played Selena's brother is in it. It's a great fucking movie. Like, if you ever watch My Family, it's a great like it's a Mexican family, but like it's a great like Latino Hispanic kind of heritage type movie, and I definitely highly recommend that one. Like it's like family, like it talks about it, like it touches on all the family members in that, like how everybody kind of like piece together, but it always brings you back to the main two, which is the mom and the dad. It starts with them and it ends with them because they're the ones that kind of like started it all. Like, but you got to watch it. That's matter of fact. Don't watch Instructions Not Included. Watch My Family. That's a great movie. I highly recommend. Highly recommend My Family. I think you'll enjoy it, and then I think you'll enjoy that movie. It's a really good movie. But Instructions Not Included. You're probably gonna need some tissue.
I've watched Selena. I watched Selena a lot of times, and when I was younger.
Okay.
And one thing that I remember a lot about that is like there was a lot of Spanish speaking going on.
Yeah.
And I don't speak Spanish. I know how to ask. I know how to ask for beer, and I know how to ask where I put my underwear. That's the only thing I know how to say in Spanish.
Well, the good thing about this day and age, okay, is that
they got
we're able to use subtitles on the movies that we watch that are either a different language. You could put the little subtitles. It's not like the theater. It's not like a theater that didn't have signs telling you not to do stuff, right? It's not like that. It's literally like it tells you that you could like it tells you, okay? So we're not living in those times anymore. We're good now. We're good. But so Heavy. I'm gonna watch Heavy. Heavy, and then another one, the Heavy one, right? That was the only one.
Heavy, because you said you've seen Buttercream Gang and you've seen Powder.
I've seen Buttercream Gang and I have seen Powder. So now we have a roundtable question that we didn't use last week, and I kind of want to use it now.
It's a good one.
I think we've been sitting on it for a while, so I'm gonna showcase that one real quick. So, the roundtable question, Anonymous asks, if you could recruit an army of cryptic mythological beasts to serve as your army, which would it be and why? So,
like your own personal army.
Of my personal army? Cryptid animals.
Like your personal army to go and take over whatever you want to take over with these mythological beasts.
So it could be anything I want.
Yes.
I think I would have an army of Pee Wee Hermans. And we would take out that stupid ass fucking theater.
Tear that theater to the ground.
Tear that shit up. And then after I was like, all right, whip it out, everybody. We're just gonna whip it out right now. No. Honestly, I think, I really like the thought of a Jersey Devil, right? I always love the thought. I love that kind of like, but I want to say Chupacabra, but that's too obvious for me. Too obvious for me. Because I used to, there was like Chupacabra was like a big thing back in the day. Like they used to sell t-shirts. They had plush.
Well, so was the Jersey Devil. I actually I just listened to an episode of Morbid podcast. It's one of my favorite podcasts to listen to.
Okay.
And they had Jodie Sweetin, like from Full House.
Oh, okay.
Like the actress. She was a guest on there, and they did the whole history of the Jersey Devil.
Jodie is the Stephanie Tanner.
The hot one.
She's hot. She's really hot.
But they did a whole episode on the Jersey Devil, and that whole fucking thing is bonkers. Like that whole goddamn story of the Jersey Devil.
I actually like when I had went to Toy Con, I think it was Toy Con, or I think I was out in Jersey helping Chubsy move some of the stuff. One of the guys that came in, I forgot his name, but he's a great customizer. He customizes like a bunch of toys, like and he does like a lot of customs on the Mythic Legions. and he did a Jersey Devil. He did like his own version of the Jersey. Like he used one of the like the goat guys' heads, but then he added like pieces of Krampus on it and added like the feet and the wings of the bats. Like the shit was fucking dope. Like I was like told him, I was like, dude, I would take some crazy photos of that. Like I want to, but like, and that would be great if they did that as like a obscura fucking figure.
Yeah,
like I would buy
the
that.
weird ones. Yeah,
I would buy that, or even a lot less monster, right? I would buy that. I would buy like a big mega figure of that. But like, I think an army of the Jersey Devil type monsters would be like my army. And I don't know why. I just think it's like, I don't know. I would feel like I kind of would feel like Constantine in a way. Like I want to summon them like Constantine. Like I want to hold the cat. Like I want like I want to be sitting on a chair with my feet inside like a bucket of water.
in a wash tub.
And then holding a cat.
Just rubbing the cat's eyes and looking in his eyes. The water starts boiling.
Just hold a cat and like stare into the cat's eyes, and then the Jersey Devils come out. I wouldn't even call them the Jersey. I wouldn't even call them the Jersey Devils. I would call them like the Rican Swarm. I would call them the Rican Swarm. The Rican Swarm.
Would you summon them saying something in Puerto Rican?
Yeah, I would say like, "Wepa!"
Wepa! That's your battle cry.
Yeah, Wepa! And the motherfuckers just come out.
Wepa, mi amigos, to war.
Did you see the video I sent earlier at the chat with the guy, the bodybuilder? He made me laugh so hard because he was like, "Oh, on Tuesdays we do chest day, and you want to get a big fucking a thick mamacita to say, put your cojones in my garganta."
Like, he started cracking himself up.
Yeah, it was fucking funny. Like he's like, "Put your cojones in my garganta." The way he said it, it came out so good. But I love the fact that he couldn't hold a straight face. But go back to the cryptic animals, monsters. I would summon the Rican Devils,
the Rican Swarm,
the Rican Swarm. I would summon the Rican Swarm, and I would summon them by saying the ritual word that ages back to before Christ. Like it's before, like it was a crazy. You could never say it, and it would be Wepa. I would say Wepa, and these fucking demon-looking fucking things would come out, and they would be running, and they just fuck shit up. And then I would be, and another way, and then besides saying Wepa, I would summon them the same way Constantine would. Like I would have my feet inside some water. I would have candles lit, just a bunch of candles, some incense lit, and I'll have a cat, like just a fucking random stray cat that I find somewhere. Or
so
coffee,
you know how like army generals, they have like the baton, and they're like they point the baton like charge. Yeah. So like would yours be a chancla? Like Wepa, go get him.
No, I wouldn't whip a chancla. I'll pull a Paul Rubens. I'll whip it out. That's what I'll do. That's the way I'll summon them. But what would be yours, Unworthy? What would be your cryptic animal?
Well, you know, it would be easy to say Bigfoot, but like you'd only get like one or two of them like peeking out from behind a tree. Like, they probably would be a pretty lousy army. Okay. And my second one, I would have said Man Bear Pig, but that's a cartoon and that probably wouldn't count. So I would say the Thunderbirds, like the Native American mythic Thunderbirds, like with the flaming wings. Their eyes could turn people to stone, and like they could spit fire and burn up the landscape. They're just big, terrible bird. Like I'd only need 3 of the bastards. Like I could probably overthrow the whole United States with 3 of the bastards if they're around.
Okay.
They just, they fly over the battlefield, and everything underneath them gets fucking scorched, burnt to a crisp. I'd be the Thunderbird man, and I'd drive up in a Pontiac Thunderbird. And I'd be like, yeehaw, motherfuckers, it's going down. And I'd throw my empty PBR cans in. I'm like, woo.
That's the way you would
start doing donuts as they're burning up everybody.
Now you would some of them like saying, weehaw, motherfuckers, right?
Yeehaw, motherfuckers. And I'd chug a fucking Pabst Blue Ribbon and smash a can on my head.
Then you got to smash the can and go, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be dope. Hell yeah. Now, what? Now, if my Rican Swarm and your Pontiac and your Eagles, right? If they join forces, do we like? What do we call ourselves like?
We're talking total world domination at that point. Like we could
Yeah.
even we could take over the world to the point where everybody has to pay us, and like we'd take over their space programs, and we'd be able to go take over a whole nother fucking world if we want.
Now here's a good question. Who would be the first celebrity that you don't like that you would go after first?
Ben Affleck.
Why am I not surprised?
Fucking Ben Affleck. I would make my Thunderbirds pick him up. I'd be like, gentle, don't burn him. Bring him to me unscathed. And then as soon as he's standing in front of me, I would just headbutt his fucking nose right off.
Right. Fucking I would definitely go after Jake Paul. I fucking hate Jake Paul, man. I hate that kid. Listen, he's entertaining. I will say that he does bring me. He does. I do watch his fights, and he does. I don't pay for them because I go on TikTok.
No, you can watch them for free.
No, I go on TikTok or Instagram, or not Instagram, TikTok or Twitter or whatever the fuck it's called now because it has an X now. They got rid of the bird. But I would definitely watch. It's Lex Luthor's now. Lex Luthor owns the Twitter. Yeah, I wouldn't pay for his fights, but he would be the one because he's just a cocky little prick.
Yeah,
like I hate that he likes to beat up on fucking like retired people and like I'm so happy that fucking Tommy Fury gave him a slice of humble pie and reminded him like I'll fuck you up, dude. And like and the fact that you would challenge somebody like Canelo Alvarez, like fuck you, dude. This dude's gonna fucking kill you if he hits you. He's gonna hurt you really bad. Like who the fuck? I mean, like, I admire.
He's definitely a tough kid. Like he's a fighter. Like he's
he can't.
Like he's fighting people who are not in their prime. Like he's in his prime fighting people who are not in their prime. Like Nate Diaz, love Nate Diaz, but he's not exactly in his prime. Like he's probably the most in the prime out of everybody he's fought so far.
Well, it's like kind of like Mayweather too, right? Like I had this, like I admit that Mayweather is a phenomenal boxer. He is a phenomenal boxer. Definitely the best in this generation. He's the best one. He's not this generation because we got new ones, but like he's the best of that generation, right? And that was my generation. Well, not really my generation, but like the newer generation. But like one of the things that I always hated about Mayweather is that he would always claim he was better than Muhammad Ali. And Tyson said it best. Tyson said that he was delusional because Muhammad Ali was the champion of the people. Mayweather can't even fucking take his kid can't go drop his kid off at school without security guard with him. Like all his bodyguards with him. Like fucking Muhammad Ali walked by himself in South Africa before he had that big mega fight with George Foreman. Yep. And the people embraced him. Nobody dared to cross him because he didn't need bodyguards. Those people were his bodyguards. Like, yeah, you fucking touch this man if you want to. And you see, you fuck around and find out and touch Mr. Ali, Cassius Clay, and you see what happens. But he was such a people's person. Like the fact that he went to a different country and he saw like I'm thinking of the movie, right? But it's true. The fact that he went to a different country and saw a mural of himself, like you know how big that is? That's bigger than any title. Any title. You go to any fucking country and you see a unworthy collector logo on the wall.
You know
that's big. You don't need. Who needs followers? Who needs Who needs the algorithm? Who needs a feature on fucking McFarlane? Who needs that? Fucking South Africa has your fucking logo. South Africa has a logo of your logo on their wall. They put graffiti on the wall. They risked that just to put you up there. Yeah. So that if that fucking doesn't tell you anything about Muhammad Ali, then I don't know what else. And again, it's Muhammad fucking Ali. He comes from a time that it wasn't like now where everything's just fucking given to you now. Back then, you really had to work hard for that shit. You had to work hard for it. And he worked his ass off for it.
You know, Mayweather, he is probably the greatest, but like you said, greatest of his generation and at boxing.
Yeah, and like I hate it call himself.
And like, yeah, boxers, they're a breed of their own, like they're a class of their own. But it fucking annoys me when these boxers are like, oh, I could take you in the octagon too. It's like Mayweather. Sure, McGregor had no fucking chance boxing.
Yeah.
Mayweather had no chance.
No,
But then
not at
Mayweather's
all.
like, I'll beat you in the octagon too. It's like, no, the fuck you won't.
No,
No, the
you
fuck
won't.
you won't. You
No,
can't
you
get
won't.
away.
No,
There's nowhere for you
no,
to
you won't.
run to get away from
Not at
it.
all.
You can't get into the ropes and have the ref break you up. Like,
Nah,
you're going down.
not
And just like
not
with
at all.
Jake Paul said that, like Nate Diaz, he gave him a taste. He put that fucking chokehold on him in the boxing ring, and like Jake Paul was like, oh, like he didn't know what the fuck to do. Like, yeah. And then he says he's gonna take Nate Diaz. He's gonna take Nate Diaz in a fucking octagon. No, the fuck you are.
No, the fuck you're not. No, you're not. No, and that's what I mean. Like that's why I'm not a fan of his, because he's fucking delusional. Like, I think he's just delusional as fuck. Like, had he came in with a humble spirit, I mean, is he making boxing entertaining again? Absolutely. Now, I just think that whole cockiness, like, it eventually comes back and haunts you, because Tommy Fury gave him an ass whooping, but it wasn't like an ass whooping that he deserves. He's gonna end up fighting a boxer one day, and the fucking guy's gonna knock him on his shit, and that's when he's gonna realize.
He won't. No, he won't, because he won't face anybody that can knock him fucking out. He won't face anybody like that.
No. And that's what I mean. Like, if I had the Rican Swarm, I would fucking take him out. I would take his ass out. The Jake Paul. I would get all the Jake Paul. You wouldn't see Jake Paul anymore. You'll see Jake Paul. Yeah, next time you see Jake Paul,
he'd be Rican Swarm shit by that time.
No, not even Rican Swarm. He'll quit his career because he will be so scared that he will subject himself to going to a theater and whacking off. He would whack off in a theater, and then I would say, then that's when I would say, you guys treat him the way you treat Pee Wee. Treat him the same way. Oh man, fuck man. All right, so we're the part of our episode. For all those who are sticking around with us, thank you for sticking around with us. I know we talk a lot of shit, but I love this. I love that, you know, when we take little breaks and we don't have like guests on, where we could just talk a bunch of shit about a bunch of stuff and talk about, like, you know, just anything, because we do this like normal. Like, we will have conversations and we'll just talk about a bunch of random shit. That's just what we do normally. So again, whether you guys know it or not, we're gonna always do this regardless. So we do this on lives and we do this out of lives. We do this regardless. So we're in the point of our show where we're gonna come plug things. Before we plug anything, if you guys are seeking any toy related shows or featured shows or anything, go check out both our link trees in our bios and our personal pages, but also check out our link tree, which is the same link tree in our A Worthy Addiction page. We have a bunch of shows that you could go check out. You go like and subscribe. Go follow all of them. They're all great shows.
Everybody,
go check them out.
We don't care about you following and subscribing to us, but we care about you following and subscribing to us.
Exactly. We're that humble. We're that modest, right? So go check those shows out, because the shows are great. And like I said, there's something for everybody, whatever you like. If you're not into dick jokes and long talks about Paul Rubin, then go, you know, there's other shows. There's other fucking shows.
Long romantic speeches about Paul Rubin.
Long romantic speeches about Paul Rubin. There's also plenty of great shows that talk about, you know, toys and dioramas and features. A great show. So, or even 12-minute shows like Behind the Plastic. Go check them out. Go check out all those shows. But like tonight, we got a couple of plugs. First plug, I don't really have a photo for it, but I am going to mention it. So Black and Wednesdays is returning next month. I will be making that announcement I want to say on Wednesday of next week before A Worthy Addiction. I wanted to do it on the show, but I will mention it on the show. But I'm going to probably do it either this Monday coming up or maybe that Wednesday. So Black and Wednesdays is returning for September. I'm not going to mention the color. I'm just going to promote it. Again, thank you to everyone who's been participating and joining and having fun, honestly, because it's no pressure. I'm never like, hey, you join. I'm not doing none of that shit. Again, if you want to participate, you can, but it's been a lot of fun. Black and Wednesdays it began as something that was meant for me to do, but because I saw everybody having fun and willing to do it and want to do it, it became about you guys. It's not about me, it's about everybody. And again, the thing I love most about Black and Wednesdays is that how much support everybody gives each other, and everybody has fun doing it. It's not, we forget a little bit about, and if you have no ideas for a photo, perfect opportunity. Take an old photo, take any photo, make it black and white, add whatever color it is. It's a perfect time to do that. So again, Black and Wednesdays is returning next month, and I will be announcing it next week. Now, Black and Wednesdays also, I will not be taking a break. So September, we're going to have Black and Wednesdays, but October, we're going to have Black and Wednesdays. But now listen, October, as everybody knows, I am a big spooky time fan. I love anything horror related, scary related, anything. So October is basically this is my month. I love that month. The fall, I love the month. Love the season, everything. October is a very important month for Black and Wednesdays because Black and Wednesdays is going to turn a year old in October. October 4th, Black and Wednesdays is officially a year old. Who would have thought that I'd be doing
Your baby's growing up so fast.
Baby is growing up so fast. So, and again, all thanks to everybody. All thanks to all you guys. So I'm going to have a big old yearly celebration in October. I'm going to have a color for October, but I'm going to do like a big old celebration. There's going to be a giveaway in October for Black and Wednesdays. I am going to do a giveaway. I'm not sure what I'm going to give away, but I'm hoping that it's something great and something big and great because, again, I want to show my love and support to you guys. Have you guys shown me in this silly little collab that I thought about? It's a little thing that I thought about. So I want to give back to you guys. So, again, Black and Wednesdays is returning September. I'm not taking a break in October. Black and Wednesdays will return in October, but October is going to be the Black and Wednesday's birthday. We're going to be celebrating Black and Wednesday. So it's going to be a year old. And again, thank you to everyone who's participated and been on it and just been doing great shots because you guys, and also too, I'm going to do like a recap of every Black and Wednesdays. I'll probably have guests on who participated on Black and Wednesdays, giving their feedback and their thoughts on Black and Wednesdays. We're probably going to have a whole show about it. So stay tuned to that. More information coming soon. The last plug that I have, and I'm actually have a little thing for this one. So a buddy of mine, he's part of the Toy Mercs. He's also part of the toy community. He has a giveaway happening. And that person is Toyo_photos. So if you guys don't know Toyo_photos, he's a toy photographer. He's part of the Toy Mercs. He's a great, great guy. Funny fucking guy, too. Like, every time I have conversations or even watch him on lives, I fucking laugh because he's so blunt about the way he says things. And it's like, I always told him, like, we had this little thing where I'm still working on it, but we have this little thing where he's going to be my angry translator. Like, he's going to say shit that I don't want to say, so I'm going to let him say it. So I'm still working on that kind of segment. But so again, if you guys are not following Toyo_photo, go follow him. But more importantly, he has a giveaway coming up. And the giveaway is the 1K giveaway, Toyo Photo giveaway 1K. So the reason I have the Camp Crystal Lake logo on his little thing I put together for him is because he does 3D printing. And he's doing a giveaway. If he could reach 1,000, so I'll go back to his page. Currently, right now, he's at 962 followers. He's doing a giveaway if he gets to 1,000 followers, because to him, it's a milestone. And let me just clarify this for everyone so nobody thinks that he put me through this. This is me doing this on my own. He never asked me to do this. He never reached out to me and say, hey, Dan, can you do this for me? Hey, Worthy Addiction, can you guys do that? He never said anything like this. This is what we do. This is what us toy community people do. We support. We're support over anything. Support over algorithms. Support over anything. He's a great fucking guy. I told him personally, dude, you should be at 1,000 regardless of what you're giving away. The fact that you're giving something away, he's not selling it to you. He's giving it away. But to him, it means something. Like, we all remember when we all hit our first 1K on Instagram. We all remember that. And it was a milestone. We were proud of that because we are proud of that because it's like, wow, like I've come so far and this many people, whether they're bots or not, these many people actually really enjoy my stuff. And I really touched a lot of people with my work, but not even just with your work or your art, but the person that you are. And I hope me and Unworthy have done that for so many of you guys, because again, when I met Unworthy, I love his photography, but I love him more as a person. Like I choose the person before I choose his art. And I hope he does the same for me. So Yeah, he's cheesing.
Yeah,
Look at it.
definitely, because your art's not that great. So, but I love you. You're my brother. I can tell you that truthfully.
No, yeah. So it's vice versa, and again, we have a lot of great guys in the toy pick community, and he's one of them. So again, he has a giveaway. I'll go bring it back up. He has a 1K giveaway, and so what is he giving away? So he does 3D printing. So what he's giving away is he's giving away a set of 3D printed Camp Crystal Lake signs. Now, there's two versions that he has. He has the regular sign, but he also has these badass signs in the bottom where they have the Jason mask and the two machetes kind of crossed, which are fucking awesome. So the way he's gonna do it is if he hits 1K, he's gonna do a live with Dead Man One. He's gonna do a live, and he's gonna do like a wheel, kind of like a wheel, and they're gonna choose. So whoever the winner is could choose either or. Like you can either choose the bottom version or the regular version. Now, I own the Friday the 13th accessory set, and when I tell you those shits are hard to come by, like they're like to buy that. I have two of them, but like to buy that set right now is probably going to cost you a pretty penny. And you could probably you could probably 3D print the shit yourself, or maybe you'll find the fucking piece somewhere. But why not support a fellow toy photographer who also supports you? Because again, he's taken part in a lot of the collabs. He's been a big part of Black and White.
He's a big part of the Toy Mercs collabs. Yeah,
Toy Mercs collabs. He does he's done Black and Wednesdays. And also too, if you look at his page, he has so much fun with his fucking toys. Like that's one thing I love about some toy photographers, that they don't think about like they don't go into too much of I gotta have this set up, I gotta do this. Like, no, they're like, hey, let me just take the photo because I'm gonna just have fun. And even one of the greatest things that he's always said to me was like, I have so many other things, and I'm not even gonna use toys when it comes to like green, right? Like, let's say the color was green. It's like, oh, I'm not even gonna. I got so many things that are green that I'm just gonna use an accessory or whatever. And he's just so creative on how he does it. So again, he's having a giveaway, and here's a couple of photos that he took with the signs. Just kind of, be creative. This is a dope shot, outdoor shot. As you can see, he has the Jason mask. He has that canoeing like palette thing, and then that's the sign. Here's another one. Another awesome shot he did with the sign that he made. And here's like kind of like a close-up of what he did also too. So again, spooky season is right around the corner. And if you have a Jason figure and you think you want to use a Crystal Lake sign on your photos, this is a perfect opportunity to get one for free. I encourage everyone that's watching this now, or everybody that's watching the replay, go give that man a follow. And please, he's going to still give it away, but don't do it because of the giveaway. Do it because that's what we do. We support one another. And that's a milestone. And I told him already, dude, I hope you get it regardless. I hope you get 1,000 followers regardless, because I know what that felt like. And I know a lot of us know what that feels like to hit a milestone, even to hit fucking 50 followers. You know how I've had people reach out to me and say, I hit 50, or even not 50 followers. Like, I got my first 100 likes on a photo. You know how great that felt? That's a beautiful thing to hear, because again, it boosts your self-esteem, but also too, it shows you that, people are actually looking at your stuff, and you're not just, and you don't get lost in the algorithm. You're somebody to us. And Toya's all fucking awesome. I support him 100%. So again, he's doing a 1K giveaway. Go check his page out for more info. I'm definitely going to plug all this stuff in the A Worthy Addiction page. I'm going to tag everybody. He's almost there. He's at 962.
Yeah, bump that shit up, y'all.
Bump that shit up. Get it to a like, follow. Show him some support, because I know he's going to do it for you too. So go check him out. Give him some support. Give all the Toy Mercs guys some support, because they're all fucking awesome. I like them all. They're all great. Dead Man One, JP, all the other guy, Triple D, all those guys are fucking great. Skelly, all those guys, all great guys. So go check those guys out. They're amazing. So those are my two plugs for the night. On whether you have anything.
Next week is the Villainous No Justice collab.
Yep.
On Wednesday, the 23rd, It's any villain shot from DC. Villains could be a squad, could be one villain, could be one villain kicking a whole bunch of Superman's ass, whatever.
I know
And
it. It's
then
funny.
I got I just set up one of those broadcast channel chat deals on my page to be posting the schedule. I am going to be posting the schedule coming up next week. After the No Justice Collab, I'm going to post the schedule for everybody to see so that you can see what the dates are. We usually do them every other Wednesday. For the next 2 months, they're going to be every other Thursday. And then also tomorrow, I got a Teen Titans collab coming up with Simon Toast, Unhuman, Danger Room Toy Photography, myself, a couple other guys. I'm thinking they're still going to be jumping in on it. I've been working on a fucking. I can't wait to drop the reel for this, dude. I've been working on this fucking cool whole video reel of
for the Teen Titans one.
Titans. Yeah,
like
because I love doing the No Justice ones, and I was like, I was going a little bit harder on this Titans one because there's like a lot less people. You know, there's just a smaller group collab that I'm doing. Where with the No Justice ones, there's like 20 people doing them. I can't do 20 people's logos the way that I'm doing this one. I can't fucking wait to drop that tomorrow.
I can't wait to see it because your videos are fucking. Your like promos are fucking dope. Yeah. So I can't wait to see it.
I can give you the only little tease I can give you of this reel that I'm working on is that it includes this video of Robin. I don't know if you'll be able to see.
Is it from Teen Titans Go?
Yeah, where he turns on the radio and then he's like bobbing his head.
I can't wait to fucking see it. I'm already excited to see it, man. And everybody that's watching, go hit up those UC No Justice collabs. Those, and even those collabs that Unworthy does, they're great. They're fucking great. I can't wait. I'm actually gonna work on my my villainous shots. So I have a couple of villains here that I could use. And no, it's not gonna be the Jokers. Yeah. There's other
I did like a poll to see who I should use, and this is the fellow that won. So I got a shot set up. I did a shot set up.
Okay.
It's Fulcrum Abominus from the Metal. It's a Megafig.
Okay.
Which he's like a giant Megazord. Of,
I was gonna say the same shit.
The Justice League gets put on War World, and Mongol has the toy maker make all these deadly robots of each superhero.
And he makes.
But what he didn't know is that he had a failsafe. What Mongol didn't know is that he included a failsafe to make them all come together like a giant fucking Megazord. So he's got the cyborg arm,
hand.
That was the cyborg robot. He's got the Wonder Woman robot as the other arm. Superman robot is the chest. And Aquaman robot is the leg. And then the other leg is Green Lantern and Flash.
DC,
and then Batman obviously is the brain.
DC, what are we doing?
He's like, honestly, this character is only in the comic for like 3 panels. Like he's not even in 3 pages. 3 panels is all he's in.
Toddy Mac.
But that's how cool he was. That's how cool it was that it was like, we got to make a fucking toy of that. So he's supposed to be gigantic compared to like it's like the Power Rangers Megazord basically. Like, so you can't really use them with other McFarlane figures because they're, it's like that tall.
It'd be dope if you got the little metal figures, the little ones. Those are perfect. Great.
The fucking little page punchers.
Yeah. Those were perfect.
Superman and Batman little page punchers here. I bought them forever ago when they were on clearance, and I never used them. And I was like, that's
there you go. There you go. Using the whole brain. There you go. That's fucking awesome. So anybody that's watching, hey, take part in those collabs. They're fucking awesome. I can't wait to do the villains one because I already got the character that I want. He's perfect for my shot, so I can't wait to use him. And he's got to be by himself. I'm not gonna add another character. I'm just gonna have him solo, like I did with the evil Batman. No, the evil Batman Flash, the what is it, the Red Dawn.
Red Death.
Red Dawn, Red Death. Yeah, right. I can't wait to like something like similar to that. So I can't wait. So please participate in those collabs because they're fucking awesome. Other than that, thank you for everybody who stuck around this long and watched the talk shit all night.
Watch us go off the crazy train rails. Appreciate it.
And that's what we do. This is not a scripted show. We're not monetized at all. So we're gonna say whatever the fuck we want to say here. And we love and support you. We love and we thank you, and we're grateful for everybody that tunes in every week and shows us love. And I hope you guys are enjoying the promo photos because I'm having a blast with them. And Worthy of Me, like, and even all the fellas in the back, like behind the scenes, Clantastic, AB, like, you know, we all take part in like little things on this show. So thank you for everyone. Again, if you have not hit that like or subscribe, do so right now. Show us some love, and we're thankful. We're grateful. So, do we have a quote for the night? I could think of one.
I don't have a quote. I didn't.
Okay.
I did not prepare. I was actually just noticing that I don't know if your side of your side over there is showing the comments, but like my comments haven't been loading since like 9 o'clock.
Okay.
So it's like we got people watching, but nobody's chatting. But I just got on YouTube on my phone, and there's been a lot of people chatting. So I'm not ignoring you. I don't know if Danny's ignoring you. If he's
I'm not.
I'm
we're
not
seeing
getting
right
anything
now.
on our.
We're not getting any comments or anything like that. Like all the comments. The last comment I have is this one. So facts. And I don't. Yeah,
there's been a bunch since then. So
listen,
thank you everybody that's been still chatting. Sorry we have not been responding to any of them.
If you don't believe me, I'll take a screenshot of the fucking screen so you can see. Like they just stopped. But thank you for everyone that has been watching and commenting. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being on. Because you know we love what's one of the greatest things about this show that we love is not only just chopping it up with each other, but interacting with you guys because you guys are just as much a part of this show as we are. So again, thank you all for just being on and supporting us and showing us some love and allowing us to be ourselves, right? Because that's all me and Unworthy want to be is ourselves. We don't want to sit here and pretend to be people we're not.
Let us be us.
Let me be me and talk about Paul Rubens. How much I love Paul Rubens. So
all night you could talk about
that. So I'll think of a quote. So here's a quote.
All right.
When their stacks are high, and when the stacks are high, go to a theater and whip your dick out. When the stacks are high, when things are going crazy.
Are you talking? Do you mean to say when the stakes are high?
No, not stakes. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Anyways, whip your dick out in a theater. That's my quote. So with that being said,
whip it right out. Good night, beautiful. Oh, shit. Here we go.
Thank you for tuning in.
Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button.
Click that notification bell
for more content.